Oke guys, jadi pagi hari ini ada match dari VCT Amerika Kickoff 2025 dan dimana match tersebut mempertemukan antara Sentinel melawan Mibr. Tanpa berlama-lama, langsung aja kita masuk ke dalam matchnya. Let's go. Ya, ini udah masuk ke dalam halftime-nya. Nah, jadi match ini tuh lower bracket final. Lower bracket final berarti yang menang dari lower bracket final ini akan masuk ke grand finalnya gitu. Dan selain masuk ke grand final, yang menang juga akan masuk ke VCT Master Bangkok. Kalau nggak salah ya, tempatnya di Bangkok. Kita cek dulu.
Round lead for Sentinels here on Lotus.
Not having a great grasp on the map. We'll have to see when we get there. But this is certainly where Sen are going to have the biggest advantage. They just need to close this out. Zelsa sitting at 20, had an ace.
Jadi pokoknya yang menang antara Sentinel dan Mibr itu masuk ke grand final sekaligus masuk ke VCT Master Bangkok.
Trying to get a lot of space over towards C, where the aforementioned star of this map is just containing Sentinel on that lurk, while the rest of the squad move up towards Rebel, trying to play around John's wall, damage on to Nobar.
This of course is the John QT Viper. Something we saw a lot last year, at least this composition on this map, with the lurk wall over a day. Center playing around that here. Very well. They've all been able to get over towards Baby Door and they might just flood onto the B side.
Ini map pertama mereka main di Lotus, map picknya. Oke, kita lihat dulu.
He pulls off the angle though and is happy to play for more of a retake, but second wants to take some space and a chunk of his flesh.
I love this push through from Sen. This is so proactive.
There's no way you're looking for second there. Aspas, okay. Come off second best in that exchange.
Dapat.
Some sharp shooting from Senam though keeps Mibr ahead of the curve here. Now a double face from Upper. Bang's ready for the first but not the second. Narrate tries to step up in his absence. And he too falls.
Setelan 2, Zeltis melawan setelan 3 bentar. Aspas, NZR dan Xenon.
Opts to stand inside that. Knows he has a Razor Vine and Nossa very, very low. Some spam would have accounted for him. But Xenon, stunning round from him. And Sentinels on that aggressive push through B are negated.
Xenon, the other VCT America's rookie, really steps up there with that delayed fight over towards Halls, where Sen were getting active, pushing through as a unit. I really liked the decision to do that, but unfortunately there just ended up being too many angles for them to cover, and the late swing from Xenon punished them hard.
Ya, jadi di map Lotus, Sentinel bawa Agent Vice, Fate, Viper, Omen, dan Raze, sementara itu Mibr bawa Agent, Omen, Jet, Bridge, Set, dan Omen. Aspas langsung coba untuk keras. Tidak mati. Tak berdua.
As a reservist, is able to find two, but he's hit with a paranoia and has to fall back to Halls. This will give the site to Zen.
The HP for Sentinel's pretty horrendous at this point. Mibr, you have to expect to close this out. It would take a miracle from Bang. The only player with a reasonable weapon has the Guardian. The nade should get one. Celsius down.
Belum.
That stops the plan. Bang's gonna have to try it again. Artesino's in a great
dapat
position. Bang out of nowhere, but gonna be caught in the fault line here. Cortesi trying to draw a bead on him. Osby inside the smoke. John with this. Are you kidding me? That is not supposed to happen. They walk into the round with classics.
Kalau gini teman-teman, kita kemarin punya teori, aku dukung tim yang kalah. Tapi di map terakhirnya, kita akan lihat apakah hal tersebut berlaku kali ini.
Now down 10 rounds for Sen. Stunning one tap from Bang. The spam through from John onto Cortesia, who is one-shotable by a classic, hits the headshot.
That is a direct one-way ticket to the Shadow Realm if I've ever seen it.
That's one of those situations where, honestly, when you're Ospas, you hate to have a Guardian when the swarm of players is on you.
Hero rifle for Aspas in a battle of heroes between Sen and Mibr. This time, that's for a bit more of a discreet approach to holding that C site. Well, that's that rifle gone, folks. Shannon keeping up on the site here. It looks like Mibr want to try and anchor amidst these dark covers. He recovers the Vandal. And he hears a lot of kerfuffle down on that lower level. In a second, pops himself up. Shannon he's been baited in. Masterful stuff. Joshua has to try and salvage. He found 2 sharp shots. But Arzin will have to be the savior.
Arzin sendiri harus clutch 3 orang.
Great first shot.
John Cutie, Jelsis, dan
Arzin with a second. Now it's getting real.
Belum planting kah?
Pretty decent spot to cover the defuse.
Udah.
Down there as well.
Harus
Arzin picks
defuse.
up a rifle and get going. Down to 61. John falls. Arzin salvages what looked like a terrible scenario for Mibr. And this truly is a game for individuals.
You can't be giving me back-to-back ecos straight away. You can't be doing that. And not in a clutch. Sick shots from Arzin.
Hold off the Sheriffs, man.
That was after Sentinels as well. I was about to compliment them on how excellently they played that situation in the site where they knew there could be an anchor playing around that dark cover that was placed. Shannon was doing that. He had the hero rifle. Patience. Someone called a pause. They waited for the dark cover to fade. Free kill. Then they scale into the site together. That was lovely. And it just collapses with Arzin isolating duels. Zels is trying to get like a pre-fire spray. Doesn't connect.
And it wasn't planted for Mount. I don't think Sen had the site control to plant it so far.
Sentinel.
So John couldn't just sit back and wait to hear the spike tap. He had to fight for it, and he was heavily disadvantaged.
Susah sih untuk comeback Mibr-nya.
Signs of life here for Mibr. They've just come too few and far between. And despite winning the pistol, getting stopped in their tracks, now they've got a chance to build off that. But Sentinels, by and large, will still be able to bring some rifles into this round.
Yeah, that's the thing. Out of the timeout, Kaplan wants them to go for this. There are a lot of light armors, not the optimal buy for Sen.
Oh, I remember that game. It was a very long Lotus game.
Oh, the
Leviathan.
Many overtimes in that.
We were talking about that for weeks. The global map kill record, bro.
That was Ospas on Raze on this map, by the way.
Yep.
But with this formation of the Mibr team, it just makes more sense for him to be on Jet. Arzin play that Raze. Sentinels putting it on the line here.
Aspas wastes no time in getting onto this perch. A lot of that controller util expended early. Aspas spotted out. They now know he's dropped off of rubber himself. He's going to be forced away by all of this util, but he stands his ground.
Aduh, salah movement coy.
In the corner to Aspas's
Wah, gila.
Lambs to the slaughter, Arsen. And not one bleat is heard as the smoke clears.
Dude, you see all of that utility.
Padahal tadi dia udah ke apa ya? Udah kejebak di tengah-tengah itu loh.
Position into the crossfires. Sen thought that they maybe had
Hanya dengan 2 orang coy. Senom plus Aspas. 1, 2. Oh, ikut NZR-nya tuh kan.
But Shannon is able to get into the corner. There are 4 Mibr players fighting here.
And what? Sen ended up just spraying out of that.
Tadi si Aspas atau si NZR tadi
what the buy implied.
udah kejebak tengah-tengah. Masih bisa nge-kill coy.
We'll never know because it was a 10-second round where Mibr crushed Sen's economy.
Aspas looked to make use of that counter one-way smoke that Sen through to get a little bit of extra ground, and he does. Now they've got this whole mound area covered.
Babang Zekannya udah mati.
Alright, Shannon.
Oke,
Taking a bit of damage to walls here, but
enggak
down towards the B side.
Yeah, it's nice for Arzin to play one of those sort of unorthodox cheeky spots like up top.
Nih kalau misalnya Mibr dapat 1-2 angka lagi, Sentinel harus lebih damage.
Even if he never plays from there again, they still have to be wary.
Untuk meredam angka dari Mibr.
One way's about to expire. Aspas turns that arc rose flash and we forced away. So a lot of map control brought there by Sen with that the one bit of Viper util, but of course MIB are starting to get teased over in that C direction, and this push up for Artisan.
Di press gitu coy.
They'll be able to see where C go. Either way, Artisan has to pull out of that. Big damage taken. 33 seconds.
MIBR, they just want to finish this in clean fashion. I like that Artisan doesn't take the risk there. Just get out. This is an opportunity for them to be able to get enough cash to get full buys for multiple rounds in a row, even if you Sen get a couple converted.
Cortesia amongst his web of trips.
Saya bener nggak tahu di C-nya itu ada 3 orang. Wah.
Pretty clean. Anti-eco for MIBR, the flawless round. But they desperately need to build these banks.
All of those kills from MIBR have gotten them close to some ultimates here. Artisan, he was already sitting on the showstopper, but look at Nobar crucially one away from the Rolling Thunder. This round could get really explosive. There could certainly be some attempts from both teams to fight for orbs early.
MIBR, slowly but surely, winning 4 out of the last 5 rounds, are clambering back into this game.
And now, despite MIBR having a lot of cash, they're not opting to get an operator for Ospas. He wants to keep the rifle right now and press up off that one-way. Smoke Prowler spots him out. He knows Bang is in the corner.
Still no smoke made to thrown down to break his one-way up. Okay. Sen just bully their way in, at least find a trade, and Aspas is out of the game for now. No presence over at A. No one sort of passively checking that either for Sentinel, so they're pretty committed to this. Trying to head over towards this C side, but it's a steel garden used by the attackers.
That is an ambitious TP from Shannon. He got into the corner. Oh my god, he finds the trade.
Ends up being a trade. Nosma now has access to his rifle again, but Narrate's found his 3rd in the round, and Artisan
harus clutch lagi coy.
And that frenetic exchange now has hopes of slowing the plant down.
Oh my god.
Nightfall, though, is going to confirm his location. And that's going to be a tough one to bounce back from. Sen inch a little bit closer to map points.
Narrate stepping up, winning out those duels on the swing into the site. I love Shannon TPing into that corner. That was so aggro, and Sen did not expect it.
Talk about a confidence builder.
Yeah.
For Narrate especially. He's Aspas again. Wants to play into that one-way.
This is the moment here, though. Denying MIBR the trades that they desired from backside. A Narrate who has had mixed results as of late. In that game against G2 the other day, had a really tough time playing the Omen, and then stepped it up on map 2. Just seems like when he gets onto that initiator role that he feels comfortable on, what he was playing a lot with KC over in EU last year, that's when he really finds his form. Fade especially, just, you can see the comfort he has.
Last time out here for MIBR. Probably the last chance to stop Sen on this map. And the buy that's come in is ambitious.
Out of this from MIBR.
MIBR lepas 1 angka langsung
I
tembak.
do want to see if they're going to bring the operator
Segitu striknya mereka, nggak strik sih. Segitu pengennya mereka dapetin map pertama.
Bring into the fold to cause some disarray for Sen. If they're not expecting it,
Padahal Abyss
they just dry
mapnya map
peek.
mereka.
They just dry peek a sightline and get punished for it.
I mean, why? The ultimates are also pretty ridiculous here for MIBR. Everything you could really ask for. And Sen are also on half armors here. They've been being taxed pretty heavily, even in these 1 rounds. They've not stabilized at all.
Yeah, that's a lot of...
Gak tahu, mungkin mereka mau dapatin Lotus, mau dapatin Abyss, jadi 2-0 gitu kan. Tapi susah sih. 11-7, 2 angka lagi Sentinelnya menang. Wah, Aspasnya.
That's the operator down. That's the investment for MIBR. Thrown down the Gurgler. Gentlemen trying to salvage, picking up the pieces. But even if he were to make a mosaic of this moment, it'll be a long walk back for MIBR.
It's tough to push forward in this situation. There's way too many angles to clear. You have to be weary about one of those Sen players walking over at the steps. He knows it. He just wants to play a little bit more safe. Oh, does it miss him? No, it does connect.
One of the worst ways you could start a round for a team 4 rounds behind. Sen are threatening that match point, and also Crucial just building up that economic supremacy.
And it looks like Sentinels want to hit into B, where there are a bunch of kill trips, but there's no one to get the kills off the trips.
Set up here for Link, for Shenham. Cortesio across away from home, and he's down. The trip's all cleared now. There's a camera left in their wake. But MIB are in no position to really fight for this.
Oke, udah setuju.
They're going to go for it. Double face.
Satu.
Celsius finds
Dua.
one, and how fitting. How fitting. A flawless round for Sentinels here in round 19. After MIBR called a crucial timeout and a change of tack that also falls flat.
You're just not going to be beating Zelsis in 1v1 today.
Nice.
At least on this map. He is white hot.
24 and 11. Flawless round. More than just a statement. Okay. Sentinels here. Determined not to miss another international event. This is a great start for them now, but they do need to land the plane here on Lotus. 5 volts up for MIBR, but an awkward buy.
Blade Storm from Osbos to offset having this stinger. MIBR try to fight even more forward.
There's that Rolling Thunder now. I think it might be to catch second, but he got Arts in already. Aspas gets in there, at least makes it a trade, but the ultimate's
Paksa,
being
dipaksa.
used for that.
Mau dipaksa?
A large amount of them.
Langsung
Sentinels in
ngarotin.
enough. They're happy to pull off the A
Empat.
side here, but they don't have advanced positioning, and Cortesia
Oh,
is in a rat
Ada
spot.
Cortesia.
Shannon is trying to play off and trying to serve as a distraction.
Evilly tells his moustache, but it's Narrate again that's
Dua
ever
tukar dua, sayang
savage things for
banget.
Sen. Such crucial frags for this guy, 17 and 9, and now MIBR have to stand and deliver.
Ooh.
First one, quick to the punch, and Bang has gone down. Narrate has the spike, and an opportunity to clutch out this map.
If he can shut the door in their face and take us to Abyss,
Tahu kah mereka?
certainly righting
Kok,
the wrongs from yesterday. Narrate has turned around his form completely in 24 hours.
Plenty of time to
Oh,
walk
mereka
over
nggak
with
tahu.
the A side
Udah
and
rotate.
get this planted. Also, conveniently, that Haunt is back online.
30 seconds left.
It does have the C's as well, so a bit to play with in this situation.
Playing for Trina.
But for the opposition, MIBR, Nosward
Oh, mereka tahu
has that
guys. Sebelum
follow
mereka nunggu
cycle
aja.
ready to go. Still
much
has
flashes.
flashes, Osbos, Cloudburst. Maybe could come in handy to cut an angle off.
Ini kalau MIB-nya mendapatkan angka harus
For
speed sih.
Narrate.
Nggak boleh
To
dapet
deal, we
pick.
talk about cutting your teeth. How's the timing on this one? Noswa. Oh, just a little jiggle. Narrate has to pull off that angle. 7 bullets.
Ui.
To work with this one. 3 for Narrate on the round. Aspas, the one and only,
Mereka harus
the deified, now has to save this
Mereka harus
for
split tadi
MIBR, but
harusnya.
Narrate is
Jangan.
quiet about it. Real! Narrate, he's a bloody main character.
Narrate said
Tadi
before the
bilang
game
mereka
that he
harus
want to
split,
play
coy.
against the best in the world. That's Osbos. He wants to dethrone him. The duo of Nosward and him. The crucial duo to form this team in the 2 versus 1. Can't get the job done. Sen needed to convert this map. It was going to be and is their biggest advantage in terms of the pool in this best of 5. Necessary to convert. They get it done. Zelsis.
Oke, map pertama dimenangin oleh Sentinel dengan skor akhir 13-7 tadi. Ya, 13-7. Tadi harusnya di angka terakhir ya. Si Aspas dengan siapa itu lagi? Baik. Aspas dengan Tottenham. Terus mundur sedikit. Ya. Kita sedikit bahas, sedikit aja tipis-tipis bahas, nggak usah panjang-panjang. Ini kan, mereka udah tahu nih, si siapa? Naretnya tinggal sendiri, Aspas dan NZR-nya berdua. Harusnya ketika mereka rotate, itu mereka bisa split. Nah, ketika mereka dari B, mereka bisa split. Karena mereka tahu si Naretnya kan di A. Di B-nya itu adalah Aspas dengan NZR. Jadi mereka split. Splitnya itu adalah entah Aspasnya dari sini. Ini udah masuk ke screen-nya kan, kayak ketika si Aspasnya masuk dari sini, si NZR-nya baru bisa dari sini. Jadi nih, mereka gerak dari sini kan, gerak dari sini. Nah, di sini itu harusnya nggak usah berdua. Kenapa? Karena mereka kedua, ini kan mereka nggak walk ya, itu mereka nggak walk, tapi lari. Ketika mereka lari, stepnya ketahuan sama oleh Neret. That's why kenapa aku bilang tadi, seharusnya ini pandangan aku sebagai pemain Valorant Iron ya, player Valorant yang ranknya itu masih Iron. Mereka itu bisa split, satu dari sini, satu dari sini, satu lagi dari mana? Dari tower atau dari top. Sorry, tower pula, dari top. Dari top satu, dari sini satu. Jadi pas sama-sama udah di sini kira-kira. Sama-sama dari sini, mereka bisa ngelakuin double pick gitu. Karena mereka bareng-bareng waktu dari sini, baru lewat sini, tahu dong dia. Karena apa? Mereka berdua ini adalah lari, bukan jalan. Kecuali tadi jalan masih bisa lah untuk dimatikan neretnya. Tapi karena lari, neretnya juga udah tahu. Gitu. Makanya bilang tadi, maunya si NZR-nya dari sini, si aspasnya dia naik, dia dari B naik ke sini, baru apa? Apakah ke sini? Oh enggak. Kalau dari B naik, dia tuh lewat ke top. Dari top itu bisa turun. Karena si sineretnya juga pada akhirnya berada di sini. Nah, kalau dari sini, dari arah top itu kelihatan. Gitu. Nah kan? Mereka bareng di sini. Atau mereka dari sini nih. Ya udah, si aspasnya bisa naik, bisa muter lagi ke sini, naik ke top. Intinya itu adalah harus ada dan di antara NZR dan aspasnya itu dari arah top supaya bisa mematikan si neretnya. Dan juga neretnya dari sini kan. Nah, neretnya di sini, dia sembunyi di sini. Kalau si neretnya sembunyinya di sini, di belakang tembok yang di A itu, harusnya dari top nampak. Nah, ini kita agak slow mo kan. Oh, slow mo ya. Playback 0,5 deh. Nih. Nah, dari arah sini, ketika aspasnya udah ada di top, itu harusnya nampak ke arah neret. Jadi aspasnya bisa matikan neret, si NZR-nya bisa nge-diffuse spike. Jadi skornya itu bukan 13-7, melainkan 12-8. Gitu, teman-teman. Tapi kembali itu hanya apa ya? Statement aku sebagai player Valorant yang ranknya masih Iron. Gitu. Masih ada sekitar 1 menit 20 detik lagi untuk masuk ke map yang kedua. Kita enjoy aja, santai, nungguin map kedua mulai. Gitu teman-teman. Apa ya, display image deprecated text stop streaming, stop recording. How to untuk nambahin. Kita masih menunggu mapnya dimulai. kita dengar sedikit analisis dari ya, analisnya dan host yang
I thought that there may be some element of it where MIBR could put the prep in and they'd be able to play around a little bit better, and they couldn't. And it's one of the major strengths they've had so far through this lower bracket, is being able to anti-strat, figure out little quirks that teams are running and work around it in some way or form. The fact that they struggled so hard on Lotus doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence for the rest of the series as well, when we get into even weaker maps for them.
Yeah, I mean, what we actually saw from Sen against Loud was that a lot of Zelsis' setups were similar, but Loud was anti them and was being able to get in on C, exploded, raise ultimates, that kind of stuff. And so they really missed the mark there, and that's also the fourth comp that they've tried to play Lotus on and failed every time.
Yeah, but for Sentinels, this was also a new comp. I think when you're trying to pick how you want your team to play, you're always trying to balance the difference between what you think is optimal, what's comfortable for your players. I think Sen found a really good mix here, where Narrate was on the fade where he looked great, and it clearly worked out for that first map of it.
Ya, kita bisa dua tim yang berpengaruh di map satu ya, yang kayak benar-benar ngasih kontribusi banyak lah ke dua, itu Aspas dan Zelsis. Aspas ya, Aspas dimanapun tim yang dia bela, dia stabil. Zelsis dengan Vice 24 kill cuy. GG. Oke, kita akan mulai lagi match-nya teman-teman. Oke.
13-7 showing on Lotus over MIB.
Yesterday, Narrate going to be on that Omen again. He struggled.
Tapi gue bilang tadi, yang kayak si Aspas dan NGR-nya itu nge-split, itu tergantung bagaimana komunikasi dan insting serta feeling mereka sih. Artinya ketika mereka bilang kayak ya udah kita dapat aja nanti double pick, itu beda lah ya. Nah, aku lihat yang tadi yang aku bilang itu kayak si Aspas dan NGR-nya bisa split, satu dari arah top, satu lagi langsung dari pintu kecilnya itu dari di B. Terus kembali apa ya, dikembalikan bagaimana komunikasi mereka. Kalau mereka komunikasi antara Aspas dan NZ-nya kayak udah kita satu arah aja, nanti bisa double pick ya, jadi beda cerita. Jadi kembali ke kondisi, kembali ke situasi dan kondisinya gimana. Karena ini kan juga turnamen kan, kita nggak bisa ngelakuin apa yang kita lakuin, kita nggak bisa menyamakan apa yang kita lakuin di kompetitif kayak rank dengan yang kita lakuin di turnamen, itu pasti beda.
Eventually second lights on that low ground. It's a bit of a
Kali ini
nasty trade for
map
him
2 di Abyss.
We'll stun Aspas for the time being.
Abbas berhasil
He won't be able to get back out to coast yet.
Sen are so weak. They're caught in the smoke. The spam through for Cortesia for a second.
Aspas, whoa! Still wins it out though. Cortesia is just shooting, man. Zelsis in that 1v3, got an incredible map.
Setelah 3 dia harus nge-clutch.
He would have to ace again. Here in this pistol, I think.
Dia harus nge-clutch si Zelsis ya. Rotate ke arah, Senom sadar map ini Mibr bawa bawa Agent Jet, KO, Sova, Cypher, dan Astra. Sementara Sentinel bawa Agent Astra, Jet, Sova, KO, dan Omen. Mereka sadar, rotate ke A. Mereka nggak split. Oke. Zeltis, Zeltisnya backup yang bagus dari NGR. 1-0 Mibr.
Over pulse, hello! Here comes Sentinels.
Tiba-tiba rata nggak?
They don't even give you time to answer the door. They bust down through it.
That second wave of utility was beautiful. It was Zelsis with another high flash after the first.
They've got two Bulldogs to work with. Shenom gonna get swung on here. That's classy stuff, though. Zelsis in second come crumbling down, but Shenom is now very low. Aspas with that tailwind.
30 HP.
Surely they can collapse on this. Surely MIBR can land this plane. It's been a very maladroit landing for them so far. They're going to sneak out into post-plant positions. Okay, get out of this, unreal! Aspas drops the out with full health, has to cross and try and defuse. This was all looking so good. Just like they drew it up, and now Jenham's going to salvage his guardian and walk away.
Yeah, Jenham just didn't cross in that timing. Sen weren't even repositioned to spam the spike, but they get away with the round win because Aspas is caught in the open, doesn't get the shot off.
That is not reasonable.
Aspasnya nggak tahu, guys.
We've seen, since the second half of Lotus, 3 eco round wins now. You have to give credit to Zelsis, though. He had some awkward flashes, to say the least, on this map yesterday, but they're paying dividends with that second utility wave. You could see the two players, Zekin and Narrate, who had teleported up top on waiting for the pop, and then they go out. They're able to get that kill. That was really excellently played, about as well as you could possibly play that situation.
On Lotus, it was Zelsis and Narrate. Already on Abyss, it's been about them as well. Talk about taking the wind out of your sails. MIBR have been forced to drop anchor here and come in with just that guardian they salvaged.
Some generosity from Shenham throwing that over to the star player Aspas.
Ini BO5 ya,
Generosity or prime directive. I don't think Shenham was ever gonna. He's not high enough on the pecking order for that one, Chief. Nos were chilling at upper. MIBR look to flood here now. They're breaking into the side. Aspas sat down. John now emerging low on help, but happy to leverage his weapon advantage. Not much left to work with now. Cortesia and Nosva getting taken down one by one. That constant smoking up to that high ground with this double controller cop means that he couldn't see the wood for the trees.
Yeah, good play with the utility. Narrate.
Well,
was that perhaps a jump off the map, try and teleport, but miss the teleport? I'm going to chalk it up to that one, maybe?
Won't be signing him up for the Red Bull base jump anytime soon.
We'll see that in the replay. Aside from that silly little moment, though, another great round from Sen, where you are seeing the intentions of this double smoke comp come to fruition, where you have Bang able to focus on using his stars for a grab well in that instance, but the dark cover can still, obscure some of these angles like the one in heaven.
Isn't it nice to have that level of redundancy that you get to use that util as Astra?
Oh, big assist! Big assist.
Use that util as Astra to catch people out. We saw the Nova Pulse on Aspas in round 2 as well.
All right, Sentinels looking to pressure towards mid. Against this full buy from MIBR.
Okay, the deep smoke mid. Sen would like to capitalize.
And by the way, Zelsis, he's continuing to retain this null command for the full buy round. That could be pivotal in converting. You can see MIBR playing around that by having Cortesia over towards the B site, while his setup, those kill trips are over towards A so they don't get turned off.
That being said, were Xenom to get caught in the null command, those stars would not be useful, so you'll need to be pretty reactive when it comes to buying time. Pops a Nebula now, as 0 point sees nobody close, so green light here for Sen. Here's that null command. It's time to get your motor running. We'll see the gravel throw now, but they've waited out. Celsius flashes, and in they go. Xenom stunned out there. Oh, okay, just knocks Celsius out of absolutely nowhere. Good start. Sen now milling around the A main, still want to keep that pressure going. Narrate has gotten in behind them. Oh, what a nasty little paranoia. Zekin's not quite there to capitalize on it, but Aspas is essentially solo there. Xenom for 2, hang about. Somehow he's been let off the chain.
In the midst of it, they were actually able to get the raise as well.
Again, he was re-downed. Still no plant.
Didn't end up mattering, but they've got the man advantage, Sentinels. They just have to deal with Cortesia, who's in that dark cover. They want to post up in the site. Zekin watching the flank.
There's just so many smokes here.
Yeah, it's so oppressive to try and wade through.
Oh, okay, Cortesia takes a headshot early. It's Aspas in the 1 versus 3 to salvage the round. This is the buy for MIBR. And he's got 4 bullets left. If he gets double-faced, that's not going to be enough.
Maybe could kill Bang, get a reload.
He doesn't see this. He doesn't see the player on top, but Bang descends upon him.
MIBR struggling there in the mid-round. For a moment, they understood that where those smokes were deep in mid could mean that there was a deep walk-up. That was the case. Narrate and Zekin pushed all the way up. For a moment there, Aspas was on the angle towards mid, but gave it up to focus on anchoring A, playing around the trips when the null command hit came in. That was their undoing, though, and that is one of the big advantages of the comp that Sen have. Those sightlines on mid are obnoxiously long, and that being able to smoke those off to contact walk up is a great way to get around just the way the map is laid out.
Yeah, at what point does Cortesia start thinking about tripping it? We did see that in the crew game. Shy was putting these deep trips in mid.
Yeah, at the moment he's just favored towards setting up anchoring kill trips for the sites. But you're right, that is going to have to be an adjustment at some point, or else they're going to have to commit too many other resources to picking those angles up.
And we saw in that game, there was a whole mini-game about using your shocks to try and guess where the trip was. Cross that bridge when we get to it, folks. Second, cloud bursts in the nebula, implying that he's dove into it. Sees nothing at the post and is just trying to sell this as well as he can. The TP in for Narrate. Sticking it. Oh,
Hey,
his head goes rolling.
Hasil mendapatkan Cortesia. Dapat
This is
2.
like catnip for MIBR. Eventually he goes down.
Free.
It's all going to be on Artazine here to stop this flood of players. Flash will herald their arrival, and in they come. Artazine just doesn't have a weaponry to hold him at bay.
Lawan
It's
gua
always going to
lagi,
be a part
coy.
of the seams here for MIBR.
Sentinel.
And they're short on thread.
Ini kalau MIBR-nya nggak bisa dapetin map ini,
Rifle off that great.
bakalan susah sih untuk map selanjutnya.
Towards the B site, which it was.
Karena ini kan udah map pilihan dari MIBR.
That was a set phases to warp feed from Narrate, and he still gets the kill.
Pening kalau Aspas.
Unreal respect, honestly.
Malsware has a recon there, could have sent it into heaven to clear that space, but it looks like he just wants to save and maybe do a little damage on the way out.
Obviously a buy into the next round here for MIBR. Aspas only dropping the Sheriff to the ground. Really, Celsius? You don't drop that, bro? Our friend is gun maxing here. It's going to be Noswa holding onto this Vandal. Theoretically, Celsius drops his.
Zelsis on a mission to get another null command early. I mean, how many steel gardens did this dude pop off in Lotus? Like 4 or 5.
It's like aggressive steel guards.
Crazy.
Narrate is so cracked.
So many ults. Oh, Cortesia got the timing as well.
I think he got timing pretty bad. They're overwhelmed there. Great sell. I mean, you know, Zekin dipped his toe in, threw a cloud burst. You know,
dashed around a little bit. But I mean, you're not going to argue with Narrate TPing into the site. You're going to be convinced that it's a hit at that point. MIBR call a timeout here as they lose 4 consecutive rounds, and combined to the next one, you have to think that Aspas defensive operator play has got to come into effect soon.
That's what we saw in the mix after the defensive timeout was called at the tail end of Lotus by Coach Fraud. So we'll see if that's going to be a common trend here. This is obviously a map where the op can dominate due to those aforementioned sightlines that are just so far. But dangerous when you're just getting smoked off. Not even dangerous, just frustrating. You can't, some of those angles Aspas isn't going to be able to pick up, though. That's not to say he doesn't have the confidence to swing through smokes with the op, go for a quick shot and dash away.
How does that fare against, you know, this Sencom with more smokes than an average Texas barbecue restaurant?
Yeah, it is tough. Those mid angles are not going to be easy to pressure. But it is something I imagine they're going to want to lean into. They've got a few ults here coming into this round, but nothing of massive significance outside of a cosmic divide, perhaps. And the Aspas does have that op, and he has the Blade Storm as well, if things get scrappy.
4-1 here for Sentinels. They started on the defense side of this map against G2 and were just slowly bundled out of the game without their consent.
Mibr gak terkalahkan selama VCT Kickoff Amerika 3-0 guys. Tapi di match kali ini mereka lawannya Sentinel guys.
Just retreats back through the nebula. There's the dark cover over for the vent walkway.
Probing here at B. Again, not the same density of kill trips for Koteshi. He finally has tripped mid, so he's a little bit less architecture to work around here. And Zekin will catch onto it, but it's just an info trip. Nowhere to play off of that. Senna pretty much under MIBR's noses already, and they got another wave of these smokes. It's going to let them walk up on this site.
Yeah, pause from Sen as they want to wait for those cages to expire. Spike goes down.
Still no chance for Aspas to make use of that operator. Now forced into a retake. Zekin got to hold his nerve here. Aspas bumps himself up and Zekin pulls out. He doesn't want a bar of it. Aspas out of 4, man. This doesn't work at all. This smoke heavy comp just chokes out MIBR. Even the trip over towards mid, they might be getting conditioned to invest more resources on a part of the map that Sen didn't care less about in that round.
Up until this point, it has to be stated again how much better Celsius is playing, and specifically with his utility. Map 1 with device, but right now, his flashes are getting work done. Those second layers of utility with the high flash that Zekin is able to swing off of there, they all fight choke together off the back of Zekin taking that initial contact. So much better than some of the flashes we saw yesterday against G2. I'm loving this so far. This is the attack side that we just didn't get to see much of. But my question really is, you know, if MIBR are to make a comeback here when the sides swap, unless they rally back now, you know, how many do they need on defense if Sen are not able to step it up on their own defensive side from what we saw against G2?
Question here. Aspas is positively bristling after that last round goes horribly wrong. So it gets the silverware out. That Aldrin from Nosware doesn't spot anything. Another slow start to the round for Sen, but they've got these smokes to cut these angles off. Nosware falls off the line. Aspas, beautifully done.
For a second there, we were about to witness the exact same thing that happened to Crew yesterday. Just slipped away with the one, though.
Here's that null command, though, so it will allow Sen to get into the site. Nothing really that MIBR can say about it. They don't have anything really to stall with anyway. And now we fall back to those post-plant positions. Bang and Celsius in the site itself. John down to 5, so he's playing right back towards Coast. And here's that Cosmic Divide thrown up by Bang.
Excellent. This is going to be so tough for MIBR to get through. They want a pop flash. Here comes Aspas.
In he goes. Bang does fall. Aspas gets some knife purchase and Celsius is on his own. Pinged out by the rule theft. Still pretty classy with the right click. Aspas is coming.
Hey, Aspas.
He doesn't care. Not too shabby. But not quite enough for Sen in that round. There's a thrifty here for MIBR.
A team that has certainly been defined by the star power. And it's Aspas on this map in particular.
Akankah teori
we mentioned it against Cruz,
aku mendukung tim yang kalah? Aku mendukung tim yang tertinggal bakalan bisa comeback.
Yeah, you've got to be ready for it.
Gets the one,
There's no
dashes
punish.
out.
No chance for it.
Aspas has some of the best jet movement in the world, but specifically when he needs to retreat, he is excellent at getting out of tough situations. Really excels in those kind of moments. And then the re-push in past the Cosmic Divide, Pop Flash coming through to support him. Gets their economy stabilized. They recover a bunch of those rifles. Now they have the AWP back in his hands. He's playing towards Heaven Aspas.
Young Zekin ready to turn it up a notch. Stinger and Bladestorm for this round, so able to pocket a bit of extra money. Aspas on a really passive angle here. Those trips all committed to the A side of the map this time around. Okay, so there's plenty to see in mid, honestly.
Yeah, spotting out that Omen who has made a lot of presence
gila, banyak banget trap dia.
for Sentinels. That's going to draw some attention from MIBR. Notice Cortezia towards the upper right of the minimap now has to cover a more passive angle towards mid as the split onto A. He's trying to come in from Sen. They have a lot of util to deal with for the anchors.
Cortezia's got to stay alive here. Zekin.
Aduh, gagal.
Dodge, duck,
Oh,
deep dive,
dapet.
dodge. Nope, not going to be good enough. Narrator's
Oh,
going
gila,
down to that
dapet,
Hunter's
eh.
Fury in the end. Shenham is so dependable as an anchor. Dump to Zelsis once more. And as he might be starting to string it
Let's
together.
go. Map kedua kita dukung MIBR ya.
Aspas with a safe angle in mid doesn't really see the need to get involved. They play to the extremities.
Map kedua kita dukung MIBR dan kita buktikan apakah teori aku mendukung tim yang tertinggal supaya mereka bisa menang itu nyata.
We're just running into the first one, the closest one. Those have to get broken.
Yeah, we're looking at John. Start to open those up a little bit more. They've got to be aware that Cortezia is investing those heavily in these sort of grid matrices on these sites.
And yet again in this default double smoke for top mid, but Aspas, he walks through.
So much information for Aspas. Artisan sees everything he needs to and gets some free damage on Bang at that.
0 Point absolutely shuts down Sen's
Bang,
effort
bang.
to press forward there. They have to slow the round down at this point.
Look at that deep trip.
Midnya kosong, gak ada yang jaga.
And that's the kind of trip that they're going to need to place. They're going to have to sacrifice site trips just to have some passive
Kalau mau ya, tadi
information
infonya
on
dari
mid.
sini.
Yeah.
They can't be destroyed in fairness by shock dart, but not that Sen have really been looking to do that.
Aspas is
Itu kan dari sini,
rotated over to the
masuk
proper
ke sini,
site.
itu
No
kurang tahu
This
sama
is
dia.
all
Woi,
But the smoke
Zekin.
drops.
And that's what happened to Zekin so many times yesterday on this map. This time he's able to flip the script. And two MIBR players fall before they can have a say.
This is so disconnected from MIBR. Zekin is watching the flank patiently. Can Cortezia win the duel? He can't. It's all on Artzin.
And they've got to know there's a player sat here. This is such a common spot to hold.
Mereka tinggalin tuh coy.
A cancel briefly called
30
here by
seconds
Sen.
left.
They're going for the re. Now the second wave of util. Zekin though was felled instantly. Bang! Able to just collapse on RZ while he's stunned out. And now Genom has so much from here.
Hampir.
Ooh, close for comfort there, but Sen exit the round with 2 up.
MIBR, unfortunately for their sake, getting really disconnected with the swings over on B.
Yo,
After
bisa
the
yuk.
Nebula
Time out.
drop off spots, it's just firing range in his face. 4 players to shut him down in this moment. But then Alpha tries to swing out of heaven. He's facing into all of these players. Haphazard to say the least. Cortezia then, he feels like he needs to be a hero, but he's being watched on the mid flank, the drop to rope.
I mean, that's 2 like back-to-back rounds from Aspas where his positioning's been nothing short of audacious. First the push ahead of the mid-smoke, and then that out in the open. This time punished.
Now playing in a leaf-like position, gets the first, can he get out? He's caught on the wall. That is a disaster.
But that's a second round where he's committed an operator into it. Zelsis coming forward now. Mel command. Active for Zelsis. Cortezia doesn't quite have the lineup there. Still no stick of the spike. There it is. Bang gets it down, and then a relatively unscathed Sen are just going to back off and play post plant.
Yeah, opting to retreat for main. They still have a little bit of util to play with. There's a molly for Zelsis for some delay. John can drone just to make sure that no one's pushing too close. Gets a tag on Cortezia.
Uncomfortable. That's going to slow things down further. Narrate does get pinged out by the 0 points. John looks like he's got some shock darts set up here. Delta sprays down through that cyber cage. Down to 2 MIBR, they're running out of time, but Cortezia finds 3, twirling his moustache evenly. Got a chance here to salvage a round, but time is not on his side. Into the cyber cage, give it a
Gua
tap.
dapet cok.
and hope for the best.
Wah,
He'll get another gun out of the game here, and Narrate has to hang around and give up his gun too.
Ultimately, there are just too many Sen players remaining in main. I like that teleport position from Narrate as well, just offering an additional element to their crossfire when that might be our players are forced to get forward. Another timeout called from them.
One enemy remaining.
Tell you what, these youngsters on MIB are impressive.
I tanked everybody's flash in that game. Oh.
Including your teammates, perhaps?
Zelsis. Can we check in on the flash?
Was that passive aggressiveness from the rest? Timeout here called by MIBR. That's the kind of round where just the sheer volume of that smoke util coming out from Sentinels, plus the early pick on.
kelamaan coy, MIBR yang time out, udah skor
Not able
3.
to have an impact. Another op board in. Dropped away quickly.
By the way, we're 10
Let's
rounds
go,
in, and
MIBR.
Zelsis is
Kita dukung tim yang
top
tinggal ya guys ya,
tagging the entire
MIBR.
server with 12 kills right now. This guy's form is really elevated at the end of this tournament. Lives for the high pressure situations.
A pretty satisfied looking Sen City so far. Some MIBR presence dotted amongst them. 7-3 is the score. Another great first half for Sentinels. But again, that's kind of what they want to do with this composition, White, is get on the attack side first, stifle off those op angles, and look at this comp. It really has made it hard for Aspas to shine with the defensive operator play.
Sen gathered up towards this A side. Maybe intending on going for a split down mid. Again, here are those smokes,
so many of
disrupting
them.
information for MIBR.
And again, it could imply anything. It's going to keep Noswell right back watching that line, and Narrate is in a position to hit tower quickly. In he goes.
Yeah, there's the vent break, and there's the shock dart. John wants to break the trips.
Langsung di rush.
Inside they go. Still a
Zack
trip. He's not in
entry.
a position to really impact Sentinels at this point. They're in the sight.
Dapat
Shots are going
senamnya.
down. All the Astra util for a post-part setup now. No longer available. It's an awkward buy for MIBR. Aspas has the hero rifle. Coming back through defender spawn now.
This is going to be next to impossible for MIBR. There's not a lot of post-plant util for Sentinels. That may be the one saving grace. Still, though, the weaponry is just so weak. You're relying on Aspas and Noswar right now.
It's really only a recon, you're right, but they'll anchor this. Zekin will sit in the sight and throw down. The guns aren't great here for MIBR, so numbers is something they have to leverage. Someone got pinged out there. 0 points being exchanged, and we're getting pretty close now on time. Noswar down to eventually he'll be brought down.
Gila.
It's really elementary for
Ini
Sentinels.
MIBR kalau dapat map ini bahaya banget, cok.
And get in a one kill smoke.
Tapi nggak tahu ya kalau misalnya nanti
The numbers are
di
just
defender
too
mereka benar-benar
overwhelming.
bisa
Can that
membalikan
went through
keadaan.
Stu. Cortezi had a moment where he could have maybe gotten the headshot with the sheriff, but if he had a rifle there, probably would have converted. And it's the little moments like that that it comes down to. Celsius,
away.
13 kills and 13 assists. It's just lights out from this guy right now.
Aspas, of course, is the kill leader in VCT Americas. He'll be the first to pass 2,000. Will it be on this map, though? I'm not sure.
Glass cannon operator for him towards B, and what do you know? 2 smokes and a recon deep into mid for Sen, and they're going to go ahead and walk up for free.
Yep. This time, though, there's a bit more than just Narrate getting into vent. He does break it open, so that already is starting to furrow the brow of the defenders over there. Camera ping, I think they're on the second. This is going to force MIB. Look, where are they safe on their site? Nowhere, really.
Only in this smoke shot, or the trips rather, weren't broken, but bang, what a swing.
Yeah, his open is a bit awesome. Walking up into that site, and again, it feels unlosable for Sentinels, this situation. The post plant, with even more utility than they had earlier to work with. Bang has a star up still. And he can make use of this Cosmic Divide, yeah. It's round 12. Pop off, King.
This is certainly going
Menggila.
to 9-3. Aspas just can't win this out with the off, with the Hunter's Fury on him.
It looks like he's playing Subway Surfers, up, down, left, right. Dodging everything, that's pretty clean.
Aspas is Aspas, guys.
Again, this is an objective game, folks, and Aspas has 20 solitary points of health left. 19 more than he needs, in
Permainannya
fairness.
stabil banget, cok.
But it's a Sisyphean task for him. And
Kasihan
Sentinels
Aspas, cuy.
another
Kenapa
93
Sentinel
half.
kenapa Sentinel nggak mau beli Aspas ya?
They were just splitting A with ease.
Tapi kalau dia beli
MIBR never
Aspas,
went for
kan Sentinel beli Aspas
aggressive
untuk
mid-round
gantikan
play in mid.
si
Maybe there could have been a moment where they try to
siapa?
pop flash out with multiple players, catch one of those
Yang baru
Sen
pensi
guys
itu pemain
walking
Sentinel.
up, contacting. It never came, and Sen were able to get all of their perfect executes off, making it look all too easy.
Siapa
Trailing in the
namanya?
half. We've got Rivington.
Siapa namanya? Yang baru pensiun ke player Sentinel. Lupa coy. Tens, kenapa Sentinel nggak mau beli Aspas untuk gantikan Tens ya? Tapi sebenarnya pun kalau Sentinel beli Aspas, mereka udah ada second. Jadi ya mungkin gitu ya. Karena Sentinel udah ada second, jadi mereka nggak mau beli Aspas.
Streaky, but when he's feeling it, so like you could tell yesterday, the thing I was most impressed yesterday is how rough map 1 was, but he came back map 2 and he led the team in kills, so that was impressive, his ability to really get back in there.
That's awesome. And before I let you go here, you get a lot of Valorant to watch now. You got Qbert Academy as well. How's it been having a bit more to the family?
Qbert Academy is the best because, for better or worse, we can't win Ascension, so I don't have to stress as much. So we can just have a lot of fun, and Tarek has decided to watch party, so we just goof around, and it's the one time where Tarek doesn't jinx the team. Because the biggest change today, Tarek is hating me right now, is Tarek is not sitting here.
Ooh.
Tarek's at home today. So we have hope. We can win today.
Oh, sorry, little bro. Rob Moore, though, thank you so much. Best of luck in the match with the team. Back to you guys.
There's a lot going on in the Sentinel's engine room at the moment. It's great to have Qbert Academy in challenges. You can check that out, of course, during the week, Tuesday, Wednesdays. You might even see myself and Dr. Wyatt River over there occasionally. But again, great to hear the talk about, you know, Zelsis and Narrate, two players who we're not usually seeing in the spotlight for this team, but man, they've really come alive, showing us this depth to this Sentinels roster.
2 players, though, to the match we have to call back to, which is Sen versus G2. We're struggling so much on defense. Narrate was just getting overwhelmed, anchoring that B site on countless rounds. The way that G2 were exploiting mid there. Did Sen do enough on this attack half to win? Or will their defense just be better today?
MIBR only managed 4 rounds after going down 3-9 on Lotus, but a very different map. And a side that Sentinels showed some clear difficulty with yesterday. And also was going to get the shock of a lifetime.
Oh, so is Cortesia. Both of them brought low.
Great damage. Damage alone does not win rounds. However, headshots definitely go a long way towards that. Aspas here is about to have to hold back the hordes of Hades.
He is all alone. He has to pop off in this situation.
Paranoia is going to whistle past him. It's going to be one by one stuff. And Aspas in a great position to cut them down. Eventually Sen get their act together. Double swing, John QT going to walk over the kill. Cortesia flattened. Noswa low. Genom not in a position to intervene, but the shock is good. Oh, it's perfect. That is stunning. Double shock kill. Genom
swoops in for the credits. We got a pistol round defined by shock darts. And Aspas on that deep position on his lonesome.
He did enough.
Artson and him really got disconnected in how they wanted to play back sight, with Artson swinging alone, didn't have that trade, and now it's Aspas staring down. The Horde coming forward, gets his 2, and offers enough delay that these Sen guys have to get on the spike ASAP. Noswar's chilling with his shock darts in main the entire time. A must-win pistol round for MIBR.
Did I remind you, MIBR immediately got thrifted after winning the pistol in the second half of Lotus.
MIBR.
They had better have their wits about them.
Center stacked up towards B. Surely MIBR won't
There's no way
right
they'd
into
go
this.
B.
never walk into this stack and feed their players away.
We're already seeing this Cortesio mid lurk, though. He might be able to glean enough information to expose Sentinel's defense plan in this round.
Yeah, this was something that was highlighted by Mimi on the desk. Cortesio is at looking mid. Great first
Good
kill.
timing here. Offensive.
I don't know if Sen are ready for this at all.
It might be
Ben
it.
thinks about it. You want to be ready? Oh, homie's in the astral plane! Cooking Pop-Tarts! He's still able to pop back down and clean up Cortesio. But we're in a 2 versus 4.
And when you are that Sentinel with the Ghost as well.
Fair enough.
La la la.
Shout out to G2.
Yeah. Shout out to Lothar.
Shout out to...
Shout out to
Never
honest
gets
Valorant
old.
fans.
Never gets old. What happened to the game I love?
All right. Aspas closing in on that 2,000 kill mark.
That is mental. Clearing 2K kills. No
Just
one
in
else is even
Americas, by the way.
close right now.
Not even
If
globally.
he gets to 12.
That's the magic number, folks. All right. Sen not able to thrifty this time around. Guns in hands. Ready to go.
And this is not too bad at all for an MIBR bonus looking at the buy. They have some good rifles here. They're gathered up towards A main. Not a lot of util defensively for Sen on this A site. It's reliant on Zekin wanting to take his first engagement and then dash away dodges. The flash gets some damage in. Able to dash before caught by the 0 point.
Zekin's in, suppressed, but is ready to throw down Aspas, his first victim. Nebula gets him out, back to safety. They pull off the site.
That is exactly what he wants to do in that situation. He's just fighting for 1 and 2 get out. Plays it to perfection. Man advantage retake.
Artazine pinged a lot of damage on Higgin Noswa, just getting into this site.
Can Cortesio get this backstab through Vent though?
Got up ropes somehow, but he's left the rest of MIBR out at sea. He's able to make use of the fact that he sneakily got into tower here. But Zekin's going to be hot on his heels, baby. 4 kills for the Pride of New Jersey. And Sentinels stretch the lead to 5.
4 effortless-looking kills for the star of Sentinels. That had to be the star for this team when they're coming up short. He's the one who's been able to turn the tide.
Oh man, Guy must have lanced like a cobra with all the carrying he did so far in kickoff. But didn't have to be the standout in that last map.
Nice, Zach. Let's.
Oh, it was Narrate and Zelsis stepping up. But I wonder how things would have turned out if he had never gotten that ace clutch against Loud. We might be looking at a totally different tournament. Well, that's what he brings to Sen. A level of star power that most teams just do not have. He's one of the best in the world, regarded as that for a reason. MIBR, full buy, everything on the line. This is their map pick, on the verge of being stolen away.
Exchange of util spots Aspas in the middle of the map. Smoke here in theory to waylay his push-up. Noswa though, not bothered by it. He will put an owl drone in the link direction.
It gets into a pretty forward position, so it does actually cover a lot of ground.
Doesn't say too much though about what Sen's setup is. They just spot bang there. Narrate, excuse me.
And just a few seconds ago, after that drone expired, Zelsis threw his 0 point over towards B main, didn't catch anyone, and you can see him now rotating off, picking up mid. He gets the kill on Cortesio because of that info he got. And of course, a snappy shot with the form he's in. Can Zekin make magic happen, anchoring again?
He's holding for a shot here, hoping for a ping from somebody, doesn't get it. Does he just audaciously swing out? I'd be terrified. Zekin! Aspas catches it.
Big risk taken, shut down for it. Noswar, Hunter's Fury to deny the retake, deny someone sticking the spike. He's retreated over towards main. Even as shock darts as well, we saw the value we got from those before.
Aspas on the verge of a massive milestone here in VCT Americas. That was ugly. Oh, he's brought down. Zelsis busts in there, and Narrate raffles down.
Last player standing.
And there it is. It's going to be up to Noswa here. Ooh, buddy, this is a tall order. Zelsis already on the defuse, getting it to half. Noswa gonna have that weapon dropped, no doubt about it.
The art of defensive.
Fully suppressed, and even at that, doesn't want a Hunter's Fury. Knows he's just gonna get run down if he even could have popped that ult off. That was primed and ready for MIBR to win. Things were a mess for Sen in spawn. There's Zelsis is out in the open, just underhand lobbing a flash. I mean, We gotta calm down a little bit there.
It's like he's feeding seagulls.
All good. He immediately swings and finds the kill though.
And Zekin was posted up inside that smoke at the start of the round, hoping for a ping off of John.
Nice! Oh my god, what a knife, Jordan. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely,
Yeah, the info off
0
that.
points in that round that were crucial for Zelsis. His utility is so much better today.
Sentinels a win here sets them up with a date with Pearl, a map that's been great for them. A chance to just breeze into Bangkok and the finals here of Kickoff.
You are divided.
All right, MIBR now with the Cosmic Device. Zelsis confidently steps ahead of it. Artazine just walks into that one. Look at this. Sentinels are brimming with self-belief. Oh my goodness! Aspas sat down!
Ace.
Back to 4 in the round. Give him another. Nosworth, no interest in fairy tales. For him, he's living the cold, hard reality of falling behind 5-12. And that's nothing to smile about.
20 HP remaining. Sen players posted up. There's even a flank coming from Zekin.
Strong wind to blow him over here. Zekin, force of nature that he is, will close the account. And we are now at map point. Sentinels, a 7-round lead. Matt, what is this flick?
Oh my god, the speed on that is sickening.
You are horrible. You are terrible.
That's messed up, man. Last chance for MIBR. Their own map pick, and yet Sen are winning in more dominant fashion than they did on their own map pick, Lotus first. It's starting on that attack side that really gets the ball rolling for this composition, and then they just have to close it out with a significant advantage.
It's been so hard for some of these MIBR players to get into the game. Artazine especially. It's been a brutal outing for him.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear Nosworth say in an interview before the game, these two teams have never played each other before, not even in a scrim.
Yeah, they don't scrim, yeah.
So Sen are coming in with a style that MIBR are just not used to. They don't have that experience.
And they only had overnight to study the VODs from this Abyss gameplay.
Yeah, of course you can say the same thing for the Sentinels team, right?
Anyway,
There's been a lot of tape, honestly, for MIBR's Abyss.
I mean, MIBR, compared to other teams in this tournament, they played 5 games already. There's a lot to review for these guys. You know Kaplan has just been in the laboratory.
Yeah, another hidden disadvantage of having to run the lower bracket to get to this game.
It's been a gauntlet for them. 4 wins in a row up until this point.
Sen getting pretty active, swarming like a kicked anthill over on the B site. And there's your boy, John. Gets a bit of glory for himself. Push up there for Bang again. The confidence we saw in that previous round is carried over. Ends up being his undoing here, but here it is. Oh, man! Khajiit has buys if you have the coin. I've got the vibes for days.
Just Aspas, the miracle worker, left. 1 kill and he gets to that 2,000 in VCT.
Bittersweet for Aspas.
But
Kill that could
ultimately-
be inconsequential.
Just doesn't
There it is.
matter.
He's just short of the milestone.
He shuts him down. Another lights out map from Zelsis. Continuing the snappy aim, getting crucial kills, but my god, the difference in his utility night and day from this game versus the one against G.
Tidak imbang ya teman-teman ya, MIBR lawan Sentinel ya. Berat. Berat coy. Udah berat banget sih gamenya. Mereka kalah aim iya, baru entry-nya juga susah. Ya kalah semua. Dan Sentinel lebih dapat akan semua hal itu. Kita tinggal masuk ke dalam map yang ketiga nanti. Tinggal masuk map 3 guys. Itu pun map 3 mapnya mirip Sentinel, jadi kayak 3-0 sih. Da 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 da. Skor map 1 13-7, map 2 13-5. Nextnya main di per map picknya itu pilihan. Nextnya main di per dan mapnya itu pilihan dari Sentinel. Jadi dah. 3-0 kah? Bentar guys.
Making some of those mistakes right now, but I had a good talk with the boys outside, and hopefully we're gonna reverse sweep this.
Can't wait to see it, Frap. Thank you. Good luck.
All right, so there you hear from Coach Fraud as MIBR gets ready for this one. We'll continue the conversation about MIBR, but there's also just one last player that we do got to highlight because he's kind of been a little bit of the main character today in this event or in this matchup, and that's Nary, who really, on that bay, this kid sideshow is finding so much success. He's been doing great work.
Yeah, we just watched him play Omen, but I wanted to highlight the Fade here because we're about to go into another probable Fade map. Because Pearl.
Tadi coach dari Mibr kalau nggak salah bilang itu intinya mereka tuh ngelakuin beberapa kesalahan dan harapannya di map ini mereka bisa memperbaiki kesalahan tersebut.
Sometimes it takes people getting angry at each other to work out the solutions. And I think these lower brackets is where it really gets formed and where teams get tested in this capacity. Sen needed this, I think, to really be a winning team if they wanted a chance to even go far in Bangkok. They needed to get pushed down into the lowers.
Do or die for MIBR now, though. If they lose this map, it'll be the first time Ospas hasn't made a global event since the first Masters of last year. A lot riding on this map for Made in Brazil.
Yeah, and let's not forget MIBR have been put through the ringer, having to go up against Crew yesterday and only 12 hours needed to go up against Sentinels that is quite game and very prepared. Can MIBR bounce back? That is a question on everyone's mind. Map 3 coming up after this quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Bisakah MIBR comeback?
Shine last year in his debut year, and they looked great. But now it's time to put up or shut up and walk away from Kickoff here in 2025.
And the core of that being this Nosbar and Ospas friendship duo that we thought were going to play on Leviathan at the beginning of last year until the organization made that swap. And now they finally get to play together. The results have obviously been there.
We're getting into Pearl. This is what Sen have been playing every single time. Running this Tejo with Zekin on the Yoru where he's really been able to shine. And you got Neri back on the fade. Josh mentioned that on the desk. The comfort level that he has on that agent. We saw that on Lotus.
And MIBR end up going with a comp that they've pedaled out quite a few times on this map. It is old school, honestly. With a Killjoy here up against the
MIBR mampu mengambil
It's
map
difficult here to
yang
get
ini.
value out of your lockdown consistently.
And your util, when it's scattered around the side on defense, it's going to get broken by the guided salvos. I think they've missed out on running the Vice here, having that arc rows in the wall that aren't going to be easily, I mean, the wall literally can't get broken by utility. It's gonna be tough to get as much value as you want out of the KJ against Sentinel's comp. We'll have to see what MIBR have prepared. It's do or die. All time, they've played 3 matches against Sen before this one. They've never won a map. They're down 0-6, now 0-8. With any iteration of their roster, when these organizations have matched up, they need to rally back. The rookies need to come to life. Aspas needs to lead them.
Aspas will have his 2,000th kill in VCT Americas on this map. Higher than anybody else in any other international league, and he'd love for it not to be bittersweet. MIBR need this map to stay alive.
It's Nazra who's actually now rotated into halls, was in a more passive position, but wants to play with Artin, forced to get out, routed by the guided salvos.
Completely clears halls. Artin going to play close to it, anti-flash, and whips himself around. Ends up being a 1-for-1, but Nosra has seen better days. He's low, and Cortesi is forced out by this arc rose. Again, this hip, new, cool comp from Sen made it hard for MIBR to have anything to say about that hit.
They are triple stacked up back halls, but MIBR don't have any utility piece to get them out of there.
Celsius shows. Cortesia will be noted now as Aspas goes down, still denied that 2,000th. And Genom really led the way for MIBR on a very underwhelming Abyss.
1-0.
Will fall and give Zekin his 3rd.
And Artin was trying to do his Jogamo cosplay, hiding in that same little corner tucked behind the Nebula, but only got 1. Sentinels learning from their woes against G2 in that instance. Tough start for MIBR.
Like that anti-flash turn there. Once again, an imposter among us.
And we see immediately in that one as well on display the dangers of trying to play some of those positions where you're dug into the site back halls. You're just going to get crushed by Sentinel's oppressive utility.
So once more here, we are going to head towards the V site. That Smoker's going to guard the cross, so even if Cortesia was holding the line, he would not have seen this. Strong gets down.
Is just so good. It covers so much distance.
There's a Yoru clone. Cortesia sees it, goes for the shot. Prowler cleared, and okay. Stinger go brrr. Cortesia trying to hold his own, but eventually the Prowler comes to call. Noswa drops on down, but is dead before he hits the ground.
Only 3 up for MIBR, and for Sen, Zekin, Dimensional Drift already off those kills.
Unreal.
Gets the plant.
That will be massive next round. An anti-eco here for MIBR that has just not yielded any results so far. Cortesia overrun on multiple occasions here on this B side. And John's going to go hunting.
Wants to get a bit closer to that Armageddon. He's way off at the moment.
Moroccan Mastermind wants for a bit more of a fight. Artazim lies in wait. There's a crossfire there to catch him, but this round's all but done. Bang Ops not to get aggressive with this Ghost here. Heavy armor into the round, fair enough, and Sen string those quick couple together.
I'm excited to see what they have in store for us with the Dimensional Drift. That's going to be the pivotal element of this round. Sen love to try and pressure towards B, really insert Zekin deep, almost pressed up to the site, like to default, and then he'll gate crash, teleport back into an A split with maybe the, maybe 2 going through Art, and then he goes to the other 2 in A main. They run a lot of plays like that.
Also the heavy Tejo util into halls, and then Zekin gate crashes or comes out of Dimensional Drift into that spot and is deep on the site ready to fight for it.
Sentinels in this tournament have won the massive majority of rounds where they have Dimensional Drift, some 90+% of them.
That is
getting the information into Link.
That is quite the stat wire.
And he has the gate crash to get back to the rest of his team.
Oh, we're doing this. Artesine already goes down. Bang playing so patiently, waiting for the push-up. Bucky is a little outranged here, but there's John once again finds a kill off the salvo.
And it's just all too easy when Zekin can ping everybody out.
Sorry, this is a bonus with a Bucky and a Spectre. Aspas, the human tornado, is on the hunt.
Ooh, dapat.
Gets the better of Bang and comes out unscathed.
Already, though, the plan for MIBR had been just to save. Yeah, Noswar and Shannon were not trying to take any kind of engagement towards B. The Dimensional Drift is just such an insanely powerful ultimate, and especially so in this meta where Taeho Breach is really prevalent. Being able to ping these players out, knowing that they had retreated into Link, then they're enclosed in that tight space. It's just free for John.
And despite MIBR being happy to mix in these double duelist comps, something a little bit different, there are some maps like this where they are really play such a traditional style comps that you could argue have been power crept a little bit with Taeho and you know, Yoru being so powerful.
The Sen came into this tournament running all of the new agents and putting a big emphasis on Yoru. It's been them and G2 playing the most of that duelist. It is just tragic. MIBR, they're able to get a reasonable buy into this round because of those saves, though. Few Guardians among them.
He's done it, by the way. 2,000 kills for Aspas. And it was a clean one, by the way.
Leading the globe.
Yeah, the most killingest player in every international league. I think Texture's the next closest at like 1,760 odd. So he's clearing.
Early 0 point over towards A main. Didn't connect for MIBR, and it's going to allow Shannon to post up in a more aggressive position as center on this mid-exploration. Look at the space that Zekin's just proactively gaining. He can teleport out whenever he wants. He's going to take the risks.
Why not stay? He does, in fact, hang around a little longer. Ping down towards the bottom of Connector. There is that a main presence here for MIBR. They do have Shannon pushed up. Narrate's waiting for a call or a piece of util to come back off cooldown.
MIBR being forced to watch such passive angles, and with this noise cut, look at Artzin.
He's drifting back over. There could be an avenue here for Zekin to get in. He is committed, there's no gate crash available. Shannon is tucked in and ready to throw down. He knows he has no choice. It's do or die. Might have had a timing, but the Prowler does sniff him out. It doesn't matter. Shannon is electric. Beautiful transfer. Will roll. Delsus and Zekin, though, putting it together.
They're not out of the woods just yet.
One more Z. And they might be asleep. Up on the site here, time is short. This is going to light them. Zekin clears it in time. Kutesi now, the Arcroys kept him at bay. Didn't buy enough time. Was it enough? It's going to be up to Zelsis yet again.
MIBR, this is must win.
Oh, Zelsis has to reload there. Takes so much damage. These are just taps on the spike. Zelsis. Big ask, in fairness.
There was a shot. They were lined up next to each other.
That would have been quite something. Shannon, incredible control of A main in that round. Against the odds after getting chomped on by a Prowler.
Yeah, the round completely defined by him there. There was definitely a time period in the mid-round where he could feel the walls closing in on him after Zekin got all of that space towards Art playing off the stealth drone.
Nice!
Knew that there was going to come a time where he was going to get pinched by players in main and coming from the site.
Jeez, that's so rough. Just let him have a good day.
He's playing
Just
great.
let him have a day.
He's looking like an all-star today. We don't need to bring that up.
No, we are going deep here to try
It's better to forget.
Deflate the cranium of Zelsis. Jesus. We're going for the deep magic to keep him grounded. That's wild.
Aspas is pushed up here alone. And given that Sen, they're not running the KO, which is going to be seen often on this map, he doesn't have to worry about getting his dash turned off, so he can, play a bit more actively in that way than he was able to on Abyss.
Surely our statisticians aren't hinting at the possibility of a reverse sweep here as well in a best of 5. Too much to imagine at this point. Still another slower round here for Sen.
And the Prowlers, double Prowlers actually being sent there, and with the Haunt as well, trying to make a lot of noise in art.
Aspas doesn't expect the recall of the Star as opposed to the full Nebula placement. He's able to reposition though, albeit having taken a little bit of damage, and it might be a grab well. Nova Pulse actually catches him on that corner. There are plays pinged out for Aspas, and Cortesia gets involved! Aspas eventually is unleashing the flaws here for MIBR as Sen let the sands of time slip through their fingers.
A really confident decision from MIBR to get in and anchor with Aspas. Despite having picked up that kill on the other side of the map, they could have just played for an honest 5-on-4 retake. But now they wanted to fight them at the choke.
Oh, it's giving Jorgamo that one.
Yeah, it really is. Honestly, it's giving, they took away from that G2 game that we should fight them at the smoke while they're getting into the site, close up. Those further positions in the site, like halls, they're going to get littered with all of that Teho utility. We have to stuff them at the choke and play aggro. Worked out for them there. And it's put them in a position where if they win this round, Sen's economy is going to get broken.
Tita's on the edge right now. A string of 3 rounds put together by Sentinels. Aspas is the one manning the helm at the A main position this time. And Bang opts to pull back here after the Prowler gets contact.
And MIBR, they triple re-clear art. That's really good from them to get some information for the rotates. From this point, they still have a turret watching towards B-Link as well. Cortesia wants to play off that. Does he get aggro? Does he take the fight, though?
So lockdown round here for the defenders. Keep that in mind. It's a full firing squad for Cortesia, and Artesian just oversteps his bounds there.
He's trying to do too much. He overextends just to get the Marley off. It just didn't matter that much, man. His life is thrown away.
Still, time is getting short. Once again, Sen have allowed the wick to burn fairly low.
They want to pivot towards B. Nazwa, the lone player. That's a long-range engagement, but he just...
struggling this game, the veteran.
Right into the firing line.
All right. Steel Guard are going to be used here on B. It does have to be a commitment, but there's nobody here at the door to greet Sentinels this time around. No spray down, no Aspas gumming up the works.
And when you're Cortesia here with the lockdown, you need to play around the timing of John's guided salvos. He still has them up at the moment, so if he decides to place that, it's absolutely worthless right now.
There's no way you can do that. John surely is holding on to this ability. Wild that a rechargeable ability can counter an ultimate. It's just Teho's world, we're just living in it. Aspas can't help Cortesia on this push. Still though, man, the guy's classy. Great piece. Zekin easily felled. There's like a Nova Pulse there on the side. Narrate has to go massive here. It all starts to fall apart, but this time on Narrate's side. As in, it's getting low for MIBR. Narrate playing with his food. Shenom finds his third of the round, but no time left. And MIBR will go up in smoke.
The flank from Shenom almost completely paid off, but ultimately it's just too late. The Sentinels comp, it's all about delay onto the spike, and Narrate's movement at the end there, just staying alive. That was beautiful. That's all he needed to do. The WinCon was just not fighting, not going down. He plays to it, wastes the clock.
It starts with Artesian just getting too far forward at mid-doors. You know, I think it's pretty clear that Cortesia realizes there's no point overheating in that environment. But he can't make use of his lockdown late in the round.
Here.
This is a round that could be worth 2. Both teams struggling economically as Aspas picks up the operator.
And he's really cheating up here too.
Second one off of the dimensional drift, and around where John is the Armageddon, but it doesn't matter, he goes down.
So clever, he knew that the stealth drone would have lit him up, so he just repositions and waits for the inevitable peak. Zekin's been nullified in 2 consecutive rounds now.
Shannon from this position prior was able to shut down the Sentinels' advance, but not this time. Evened up 4 versus 4.
Maddie's getting in the game now.
MIBR have rotated quickly, multiple players in secret to fight together and flank from Cortesia.
Remember, there's no Astra util available to MIBR here. The Armageddon comes in. Oh my goodness! Ultimately ends up getting gunned down anyway, but pretty sure that Gravwell will have done him in. And Artesian is bleeding out here. And Aspas has to try and retake with an op here through Flower. Not a favorable scenario for MIBR.
Artesian pop flash is out, but...
And then what?
Aspas isn't there. There's nothing to do off the back of it. Both flashes used, all for naught.
Remember, the economy here for MIBR, it's in tatters.
At this point, guys, you just have to save. Wasted too much time. No util to get through. It's a wrap. Aspas, he gets his, but who cares? He's lost the op. The economy is now totally broken for MIBR. That feels like a moment where maybe they're feeling the pressure. They're indecisive.
Point, coy.
An inflection point, and it all opens up with Bang taking the duel against Shenom in A main, who takes the Astra out of the game, the one with all that util that could slow a plant down. That's a shot to the heart here for the defenders.
Excellent way for Sen to get into the site though with that grab well in tandem with the Armageddon over towards Secret. The pressure from that, heavy for the defenders.
Damn, I mean, Cubit's probably had a pretty tough time with things. Somebody look out for... Yes, absolutely. Blink twice if you need saving.
Timeout called by Fraud for MIBR is a round like that could cause the game to slip completely out of their hands. They have so many ultimates to play with, but no money to assist. So this is going to be an eco round where we get back into things.
For MIBR to make it to Bangkok, it would have to be the second ever reverse sweep in a best of 5 in VCT America's history. And they'd have to look stellar over the next 2 maps after this, which are split and bind respectively. It is an uphill battle.
Absolutely. This is an MIBR organization that in 2023, VCT, they went 3 wins, 8 losses. 2024, 4 wins, 11 losses. They've got 4 wins right now in 2025. They've already tied that. This is the best the MIBR organization has ever done. Ospas, you expect him to be here. He exudes greatness. But for the org, this is something they've never been able to achieve. Heartbreaking if it ends here. So close to making their first international event.
Who's next? That's the depth of competition in this league. Here's Zekin on the dimensional drift. We know what the numbers say about the rounds they win with that ultimate up. And he's going to emerge with the Bucky. And Artazine will be caught. Zenom, like a deer in the headlights.
Zekun.
Flattened.
Better at killing players in the turret at range. There's one of the rifles.
Bro, he ain't moving. Cortesia, a belly full of shot. Zach in a belly full of fire to get Sen to yet another global event. Damage there through dugout onto Aspas. He's wallbang down to 40. And there's so much of this util here for Sen still available. You've got to save.
That was the only chance for Aspas to get a kill. Yeah, Noswar, he needs to hold on to this rifle. He has 600 in the bank. Desperately needs that for the full buy round coming up next.
Aspas is pinged out by the Haunt. They know exactly where he is, and a couple of extra bullets than otherwise were required there, but all good. All good.
And walls, they might be closing on Noswar. Push from Flowers and from the B side.
If it comes at the right time, Noswar won't have a leg to stand on. That's one, and Zelsis, once again, the architect of MIBR's demise, not even allowed to keep that singular gun. No mercy, no quarter.
That kill could have a lot of weight into this one. Looking like a tough buy. Not the worst, actually. I mean, there is going to be the op for Ospas. Noswar just relegated to some poor armor, but can get a decent rifle. This is from Zekin. I mean, this is, again, another dimensional drift used round 1%. Getting all of that information, presence towards B, immediate teleport into Art, gets the location of everyone on A where the actual hit is coming in. It's insane how much value you can extract from that ult when you have the right gate crash and game plan around it.
Every 4 rounds, just getting to have an I win button? Absurd. Alright, Zelsis is pinged out by that. It is Aspas, glass cannon operator. The rest of MIBR, light armor only. Cortesia with a lockdown that we may never see used.
Taking that first engagement. Alright, at least traded out for MIBR. Dare I say, this is their final chance in this. Have to get back into the game, or Sen will have firmly ran away with this on the attack side. Ultimate still in play for the Brazilian side, who are double stacked over towards Art.
No A-main presence here for Sen, though. They are plentiful in this part of the map, that A-link position. Shenom does well, and he always has. But John eventually has his.
He is just good on the swings, playing off of Narrate's Prowler and then playing off of him for that trade when he goes down to get the man advantage secured by the IGL.
Retaking with a glass cannon operator. Noswar has to stop them here. It's hard to imagine Aspas gets value, and there's no guns, there's no rifles for him to pick up within his vicinity.
Noswar has the Hunter's Fury. Does he try to rattle that off right now off the recon? No, he just doesn't feel like it's the right timing.
Bang heads upstairs briefly, and there's Noswar down. Aspas, surely not. You can't go for this. Right?
He has to. This round is just too important. Can he find the first?
No armor, operator. And I feel the wind picking up. Unreal! The human tornado
Mengamuk dia.
clutches an unlikely round up for MIBR. A desperate round.
Must win for them. That was the economy on the line. Clutch 1v2. Aspas, he really hasn't been able to get into this series in a significant way. The team hasn't. But on this map right now, stepping up 8 for 3, clutching out the 1v2 with everything on the line, this half on the line. Now they've got a chance. They still have all the rolls.
And they can still buy. Despite Aspas being the only player to exit the round, the win is enough to get MIBR in a position to match the arsenal of Sentinels.
And sometimes it just takes watching one of your teammates go off in that fashion to get the confidence surging back. I love this timeout right now.
Langsung tak Sentinel ya.
Yeah, that is the frozen kicker is what they're going for. This is a really great timeout call, especially, I mean, in addition to that, this is another opportunity for Sen to break MIBR's economy, and if it's going to be an explosive ultimate round, that might just completely dumpster the rest of this half for them if those are expended and they lose.
And the messaging probably isn't doom and gloom. You're up against Aspas. These rounds are going to happen every now and then. Everything else for Sentinels looks like it went right. They come off the back of a really successful Dimensional Drift round. By the way, Zekin is 2 orbs away from his next one. We might see that as early as next round. But likely before the half, we'll get another one of those. Armageddon up for John. MIBR, though, in fairness, 4 ultimates up. Nos was still holding on to that Hunter's Fury that he didn't opt to make use of in that 2 versus 2. Something to keep an eye on, for sure.
Cortezio is just praying he can find an opportunity to place this lockdown so he doesn't save it for the second half. It's going to be challenging, though. Aspas still with that operator posted up towards B. We've seen him try to play there before, and it's been the stealth drone from Sen that has forced him back in those instances. 1-3-1 from Sen to open this up.
Another cheat up here for Aspas.
Sen have really excelled at controlling art in this game. It's allowed for these excellent split hits onto A, and that's where you're giving Narrate a lot of credit, controlling the map.
They've emphasized A main a lot less in this game compared to what we've seen in the past. Frankly, Chenom's been stalwart in locking down that part of the map.
Right now, I'm just looking at MIBR's rotates because on the bottom left of the minimap, you just see Aspas has pushed all the way up into B main. The rest of the team, they've cheated towards A.
There's a massive hole in the setup there for MIBR, and it's kind of what Narrate is probing at the moment. Time elapses, and we have Noswa and Artazine being dragged back to B.
Shenum, first engagement off the peak, no. Runs to safety with the Nebula to cover his tracks.
Got that util ready for Zekin. Alright, Armageddon's going to force him into the site proper. Here's Zelsus taking Artazine down. That, of course, was an Null command. Zekin dodging these Hunter's Fury shots. Noswa hoping for much more off that, and a lot of ultimates already teased out of MIBR. Here's a lockdown. John does not have his salvo available right now.
Cortezio finally finds the timing, and there's only 20 seconds on the clock for Sen to get in, but the salvos are back.
And there it is. The lockdown ends up getting cleared effortlessly, but MIBR still have a presence inside the site here. Noswa getting forward, but we are in a post plant.
Look at Aspas on the flank with the AWP.
Noswa spotted out, pinged as well. Cortezio going to play close to see if he can at least trade that. Zelsus spotted. Here's Aspas getting involved now. Down to 2 and a second banger of a shot. Doesn't expect the third, though they never do. And there's Narrate and John stand tall. It's up to Cortezio. 1 paltry point of health. What did you fire in this economy?
Sentinel.
At the end of the day, again, it's just coming down to how effective this Sentinel's utility is at clearing the site, this space that they gain off of it. Even if that Armageddon, it didn't get a ton of value and actually getting any kills, but it forces the anchors into this awkward position in the site where they're then getting split on at art at the same time.
Such a freebie there for Zelsus.
1 enemy remaining.
And Narrate and John, just as that happens, pop off. John was the only player in the side at the time on a timer, on a clock, because Aspas was coming for him.
And Aspas, who was desperately trying to keep his team in this game, in this series. It's do or die on this map. They're down 0-2.
And here comes Sen. Clone goes forward, Gate crashes well into halls. Oh, he sticks it! And he wins it out. Better weapon wins, Artazine. didn't really have a say in the matter. Zekin gets himself a Spectre, and he's also got the Dimensional Drift for round 12, which is where guns will be featured. Getting to 8 already would be ridiculous. Aspas gets over the sheer wall. He won't be anticipated. However, Zelsis is looking in that direction, and Bang also has been alerted. But he's hiding. Aspas now completely shut down. So much of this series, we've seen him be negated. Superstar that he is.
It just feels like the weight of the world is on his shoulders. In these situations, it's all coming down to him, his star power. But that just can't be enough against this Sentinels team that's firing on all cylinders. All of their players are having their moments today. The coordination with the utility is so much better than it's been in some of their prior matches. They are locked in. They're going to run it back to the kickoff final, same as they did last year, 2024. Get to the first Masters as they did in 2024. Try to win it.
Mibr are just being fed like kindling into the furnace that is Zelsis. Warming the rest of the Sentinels, raising the spirits.
Jordan, let's go. Give me more. Give me more. Let's go.
I'm trying to get more out of Zelsis. I think he's given enough. He's given more than enough.
It's like looking like a prude. You squeezed him. 8-3 though. Another 9-3 half for Sen, perhaps. Here's the Dimensional Drift.
Dimensional Drift. Can they make it 3 for 3 rounds 1 with this ult?
The Nova Pulse, I love it. Second emerges, but is Sen packing out of the round quickly. Aspas shuts the Dimensional Drift down. Zelsis, amidst that, was still able to find Artazine and again another random pick-off through smoke, perhaps.
Cortezia is pushed all the way out of B right now. Mibr, they're content to stay stacked up towards A, though now they're feeling the pressure. Could there be a lurk coming from mid? They're giving up the site. Steel Garden ensures that they have to back off.
And this will allow Sen actually to populate that link area. There's a sheer wall behind them that could well catch Cortezia, or slow him down at least.
Zelsis has this spike planted for both the main and Art, where they're stacked up again. Sen love playing multiple players from this angle.
More liquid metal filaments that he can poke a stick hack on the side.
I mean, this cosmic divide, hello? We just, they've thrown the round off the back of that.
I don't know how they're supposed to work
They have to get through it. It's on the wrong side.
Zelsis here might get busy. In fairness, there's a tap from Aspas. Zelsis sprays and Cortezia capitalizes. Narrate though trades, Zenom is down. In the smoke is Aspas, he finds yet another. We have a 2 versus 2. Noswell pushing forward, Bang's going to be holding his own, and now it's up to John QT. Time short, health low, and here he comes with a shot. That is stunning! The Red Bull clutch for John, and Sen have another 9-3 half to hang their hat on.
I can't believe it even got that close. Sen are clutching out when it matters. John stepping up. He's played so much Tejo in this tournament, and when he's on that agent, has really excelled. He's displayed some of his best play in Kickoff.
Bada bing, baby!
Great 1 versus 2. Time is just so low. Mibr hopeless in the end there. Dominant half from Sen again, looking to close this out. Make it to the first Masters tournament of the year. They're on the cusp of it.
There's always a sense like this is destined, like it's meant to happen. Another 6-round lead heading into the half of the 3rd map of this series for Sentinels. Stick around, we'll be right back with the conclusion of Pearl and perhaps the series.
Iya, kembali ketinggal dengan skor yang cukup jauh 3-9. Akankah bisa comeback? Udah kalah semua guys, susah. Aimnya hanya Aspas dan seperti si GN ya kalau nggak salah yang dapet, dan Aspasnya pun paling banyak ngasih kill, sementara Sentinel rata-rata bisa nembak, jadi kayak ya udah susah coy. Lebakan tuh saya udah 3-0 bersih 3-0. 3-0. Oke, dan mulai kita masuk ke in-game-nya. Halftime yang kedua.
They still need to rally back. Lead so significant for Sen. Series lead, map lead. Well, this is a great way to start the second half.
Wow.
The most experienced of anyone on MIBR, their coach, Fraud. You have to be looking at someone like him who's been in esports competition for decades at this point to instill the ability to rally back in such a tough situation with this squad with rookies coming up from Brazilian challengers.
And they've got the old heads of Nozwe and Aspas here, able to impart that wisdom. And Artazine has been through a baptism of fire in VCT Americas. We trot onto the site once more. The gamble falls flat for Sen, although random damage from John does keep Aspas honest.
Now, I'm just paying attention to the committal for MIBR. As far as their buy into this round, Aspas is hunting for more with 50 HP into the Phantom. Sure, he has Arts in tow, but brother, you do not want to lose these guns.
I mean, Zelsis, his whiskers grow longer from that position. Yeah, come on, buddy. Can't make it that easy for you. Artazine has opted to linger here. He's made a decent amount of sound. Okay, he might lose his weapon. They're going to swing him en masse. Nozwe wants to prevent this gun from being recovered, and he does.
Well, I mean, wasteful to say the least. I don't see the purpose of Aspas hunting forward there. Yeah. I mean, I could see maybe you want Artzine to do so because he had gotten so many kills on the pistol that he's close to the null command, right? He's only one orb off right now, but my God, that was a risk being taken. They had me sweating bullets.
Yeah, he was so far ahead as well of Artazine. Fair enough.
All right, into this bonus round. It's not a pure bonus because of that. And MIBR, they want to force into it. They've got
the Outlaw is cheeky.
Some rifles across the board. Yeah, and the Outlaw against regen armor, that's a lot of one-shot potential for Zekken.
And there's that early Teho util that goes in the A main direction. Makes it hard for MIBR to post up there early. In fact, they're kind of confined to the middle of the map. They're going to make the best use of it they can.
Swift to insert Aspas into Link. Oh, potential tool against an array who opts to just retreat.
Hey.
1-for-1 trade offer.
Molly for Razorvine. MIBR will take that.
Aspas is within striking distance. Look at the reposition here from Zekin.
Oh, I like this setup right now from MIBR. They have Aspas inserted, and he has that trip, the KJ behind him, watching for a potential push from Link. So he can focus forward, MIBR can pressure towards A, and they can pivot back to Aspas into a B hit after trying to drag rotates. If the site is vacant, they can just go for a full execute here and let Aspas backstab.
Oswald, though, might have to wait. Bang here. Cops. Oh, bang! Oh, that's a gun cheaply lost here for Sentinels. Taking their time, but
30 seconds
that
left.
null command is now active.
Now, what is the plan? That null command is selling for MIBR that they're trying to get into A.
They're pivoting back.
We have 20 seconds left. Okay, Aspas, he needed that kill and he finds it.
Tekken was not ready for it. Completely caught off guard. Intricate rotations here for MIBR. And in the dying seconds of the round, they are going to have this plant.
It's dangerous to let the clock dwindle so low against Sentinels running the comp that they had. It's so easy for them to deny spike plants and diffuses, right? So dangerous when you're at 10 seconds trying to stick it down on default, but a cool round nonetheless from MIBR.
And John and Zelsis want none of it. This is a little bit dangerous here with Zenom embedded on this A site to further strip weapons away from Sentinels, who have hoped to have made the right choice here with this save. Artisan gets in there, John. Not ready, the timing! Oh! That's going to hurt in the morning, folks.
Brutality. All of the guns lost, economy broken for Sen. MIBR are genuinely back in this. And Artzin has stepped up.
It's a timeout if I've ever seen one, Wyatt. It's a very clean round, all things considered. And this is how you build back into the game. That lead has shrunk from 6 to 3. And a timeout has to be called here for Sen. They've been pretty average on this second half.
That was a really cool round from MIBR, top to bottom. And listen, it helps when Artzin is just getting a spam kill onto Bang, who is trying to spam back at him with the Guardian to get your first opening. Aside from that, though, he has stepped up. He has surged up the scoreboard. The one remaining member from MIBR last year. Remaining for a reason, by the way. It was at the end of 2024 where he was the star of that team playing Sentinel. Yeah, top fragging, which is just a testament to how flexible he's been when he can pick up the Duelist, pick up that Raze on maps like Split. He's really been able to shine on that agent, plays the Initiator as well, and IGLing. This guy's doing it all.
One of his first games of Kickoff last year, he was actually pitted against Aspas. And he had to play Duelist in that setup. We realized that he wasn't quite comfortable enough to be trusted, I guess, to lead from that position. But man, he really matured over the year and can kind of do it all at this point.
Sentinels out of the timeout. Kaplan wants them to go for an aggressive B look.
He looked exasperated.
You know, maybe off of the timing where that Nebula gets recalled for the attackers to cross. They might send in that Yoru flash. Maybe some of the utility from John as well. Yeah, and there it is. There's the flash when the smoke drops.
Might be over pushing on this though to get rid of Nosworth. Aspas doesn't feel safe sticking around to try and cover the weapon, so that will be handed over.
No, I mean, he just... Here's the trampling horde of the entire Sen team, and it is time to run to A and get the free site. Gets all the info, doesn't need to fight there. Only worry, I suppose, is really just that Zelsis has one rifle. But MIBR, on all accounts, should be closing this round out.
That aside, a fair bit to work with here, Sen, in terms of util. Probably hope here to try and keep a lid on MIBR's economy if they're going to be getting out ahead, but they're already in a pretty safe spot in that regard.
I mean, this could be dangerous. He has no help here. Gets one, okay, gets two.
John's picked up the rifle, but Sen had no opportunity to make use of it in that encounter, and Zen just right in between them. Nerves of steel. Eventually, Bang brings him down. Sisterhood of the Traveling Vandal, apparently.
Some beautiful shots.
Blocking vision.
From a player that was displaying a high level in challengers.
Here comes Artazine.
In Brazil last year, and Bang, will he be saving this? It's gonna
nope.
Close, nope. Rest in peace.
Regardless, gun round here for Sen. Some things we haven't seen this half, Dimensional Drift, a Sentinels round win. But crucially, the former getting pretty close to being online. We've seen Sentinels, like, they've made aggressive use of that Steel Garden on Abyss, which was really interesting to see. Tried to make use of that window.
I do like the idea out of the timeout from Kaplan, but obviously, regardless of the plan, they are just on that bad buy.
Yep.
This is where it really matters, though. They've invested into an operator for Zekken to lock down B, and matter of fact, it's two of the best duelists in the world going head-to-head.
Oh, the Alzo is so annoying. Yep. Pushes Zekken off the line entirely. He'll repost here by Halls, but Aspas knows exactly where to look. And he punishes the shoulder peek. Zekken has been a non-factor so far on this defense side.
Maybe taking a page out of the G2 strat book, running some of that attack op look.
All right. Zelsis. Look at all the players here for Sen.
I mean, it's 3 rotations dragged over here. John needs to re-clear Link. They have negative information for this area of the map. All right, gets a little bit back.
I mean, the one upside is that MIB have been pretty slow about this scaling into A main. It's going to buy enough time for John at least to get in position and also be able to use that salvo to waylay the attackers further.
Does Bang try and make an effort to actually anchor this site, though, or does he just have to retreat? There's going to be a recon going back site that'll spot him out in the 0 point. Okay, dodges the recon by playing in the smoke.
Yeah, he gets his smokes up just in time. Now he can play inside of them. Oh, I love this from Bang. Getting in the connector. John in position. Aspas had a chalk outline drawn of him. And here come the cavalry, folks. John eventually able to bring Nosma down. Aspas is low in that position. The plant seems like a bit of a stretch goal at this point. John in the corner, he's safe. Here come the salvos. Cortesia about to get churned into meat.
Sanos, again, just going to excel in these situations where the clock is getting too low. MIBR needed to hit the gas in the mid-round, but they slowed down, taking A main, and Bang really plays that anchoring position to perfection. He gets that first kill, but it's the getting inside the smoke, dodging the recon, staying alive, and allowing the rest of the team to flood back in with that util tsunami that they've got in their hands. It's just so powerful.
Spike planted. One enemy
A situation
remaining.
like that is just nightmare for the absolute nightmare for the attackers. Getting the spike down when the tail has the missiles and there's a seize.
Get me the odd boys. Okay. Important round for Sen to win. It's been a bit of a drought. First round of this half, and an MIBR call a bit of late timeout here. Probably trying to figure out if it's worth constructing a strategy around some of their ultimates. They know they're going to be playing against the second operator this round, which has had a tougher time on B long. Again, it just takes an Aldro to push him off that line. We saw him shoulder pick from Halls, get picked up by Aspas in that last round. A terrible start, and Sen were able to rely on John QT, who shot to the top of the scoreboard here to bail them out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're MIBR, you'd love to be able to use this Cosmic Divide to get one of those free plants on B and just play the long spam angles. But then, yeah, you have to worry about Zekken's off on that side of the map. Maybe Noswar can get the tag with the drone, and that'll force him off the line. And he could Hunter's Fury straight into that on him, just try and get an opening pick. Something like that may work, and then you get that Cosmic Divide down, try and get the free plant. But then you have those additional worries in the post plant. If you're on B or Sen, they have an Armageddon that basically stretches across the entirety of B long. And then if you're fighting site, Zelsis has a Steel Garden. So there's a lot of potential for counterplay from the Sen ultimates here as well.
Back to Pearl we go, folks. Round 18 on the docket. And it's a 3-round game. After a 9-6 half, MIBR have got to be happy at least with the progress they've made. You laid out the blueprint for this round. Why for MIBR? Let's see if it comes to fruition. It's Zenon with the operator instead of Aspas.
But Zekken is posted up towards mid. They've left B in the hands of Zelsis and his array of Sentinel utility. I mean, Zekken is hearing a whole lot of audio cues at the moment, but no one is actually facing into him. It's MIBR just slowly contacting, taking space over towards B long.
Zekken's able to obviously get back here now. Oh, an early shot there would have been quite something. Now that the Cosmic Divide is going to make it pretty hard for him to operate. Razorvine's here in theory to buy a little bit of space. Zekken is able to fall back, but it's not a powerful position he finds himself in here. Steel Garden for a retake though. Armageddon also up for John.
Right, so they have that Steel Garden to fire off close, take the gun away from Aspas, for instance, and then have the Armageddon for B long. This is the danger of the ultimates. No, they actually just committed all to Halls, and the Hunter's Fury rings out from Noswar.
Okay, this off for Zelsis is crucial now. The long lineup B long. He needs to work that as much as possible. Sen had to reach, and there's Cortezia actually taking Zelsis down with a Nano Swarm. 3 up for Sen. Sees. Doesn't really bother Cortezia because he's swinging that light anyway. Nova Pulse, Gravwell, Kitchen Sink. It's all been deployed here, and now a firing squad faces MIBR. Shenom with 50 points of health. Aspas knows he's critical in this scenario, and they find one each. It's all too much for Bang, who is riddled with bullets.
He tried his best, but that's just too easy for MIBR. The plant position misguided, frankly, from Sentinels to commit the Armageddon back Halls. Unlikely that MIBR are going to be wanting to play close when you have that Steel Garden. Could have gotten so much more value in long, but that's not where they use it. MIBR are able to play those post-plant positions that they intended on playing out of the timeout. Get the easy spam onto the spike, and when you have all the stars set to concuss, the grapple to further delay, it's just perfect. Fraud's game plan working exactly as intended, and it's got Sentinels on a buy that's looking rough with the economy on the line.
Okay, Zekin. Dimensional Drift available here for maybe later in the round, but takes a fair bit of damage. That early posting has not worked out for him at all on his defense side, but how about that classy stuff?
What a tap.
Balls back to the field. Aspas will challenge. And one is all Zekin is going to get this time.
Celsius has had to retreat, forced to get out of there into Link. John wants to get some info with this stealth drone. It does get broken, so no one's suppressed. And Cortezia is on this flank. This time he could determine the winner of the round.
Here's the Nightfall. Cortezia emerges and Narrate is taken down. Still loses the ultimate. He does at least get that off. Delsis is about to get pretty busy. That Nano Swarm would have made him dance. He clears it. But Nosma knows it takes 2 to tango. John can get a better weapon here. Gonna have to cross. And Zenom is waiting for him.
Shut him up is looking pretty clean. What I love about the timing that MIBR took there with Cortezia's flank into the concuss from Shenom in Link is that it allowed the rest of the team to push forward with that crossfire broken, with the Link players forced to pay attention to Cortezia up here. Lovely from MIBR.
And that 6-round lead for Sentinels has now shrunk to 1. Pretty wild from MIBR. They've won 6 out of the last 7 rounds.
And bear in mind, that was Sentinels forcing into it with just a Stinger, a Bulldog, not ideal weaponry. They lose, the economy's broken, that round should be worth 2.
Well, this map is about to get real interesting, Wyatt. Again, the Teho util means an orb for Sentinels. John, one step closer to another Armageddon.
Yeah, they really want to prioritize that ultimate, it seems, and I mean, typically you would want to prioritize the Dimensional Drift, but Zekin already has it, so...
Just no great opportunity to make use of it in the previous round. He was pinned on site, and Aspas came knocking. When the king knocks, you open the door.
We've gone back to this slow play around the operator, which at this point you have to imagine Sen will not be playing into. More passively, not going for those risky jump peaks.
A big drift here. Quite the migration from MIBR.
Zelsis on the re-clear. This time he hears the reload. He's going to go forward, but he moves. Okay, never mind.
Not going to get away with that one, though. Sheer audacity at least allows this to be a 4 versus 4. That Astra util's going to be a little bit too slow on A, and I think Bang knows that he recalls one of them. Comes a clone. Arsene here, ready for it though. Firing squad faces him. It's a 1-for-1. Weapon though, unrecoverable right now. Senna's trying to get forward, and Zekin would love the upgrade. He does get across, flashed out as he was. But Nosra is just too clean with it. Pure composure. Now we've got a game.
For the first time in this series, MIBR keeping the game close, running it back on this attack side. They've only dropped 1 round so far. And this one could get them over the finish line. This might be another round war 2 that we're going to get into. They've got a lot of ultimates to play with, or at least on the cusp of a lot of ultimates.
Clean finish there for Nosma. Bit of a tech pause down on the stage. Some mild audio issue that will get some attention. You can usually tell us Aspas and Ko are heavily reclined, and I think it's catching on. Cortesia is also punching out some Z's there.
He really has started that trend. I mean, he started it a long time ago. I mean, when you see the arguable or non-arguable best player in the world chilling in every tech timeout, you're trying to get like him. I do that while I'm getting farmed and ranked.
You are not the same. Pretty sure it's JDM that started this, but that's fine. Just an in-ear issue that was resolved pretty quickly. So we are a couple moments from heading back into round number 21. Folks, it is an even game. If you've missed this series, it's been all Sentinels so far. And Mibr, though, have come alive at just the right time. At the least to stay alive.
Mibr intending on heading towards B right now. Recon to clear close in case out of the timeout. Sentinels are going for something proactive on that side of the map. And now we've got the null command. It's a split through link. And this is dangerous. Zelsis, not playing around the null command, has all of his util turned off.
Yeah, that's just completely useless from now. And Aspas is going to make things even worse. In with the Blade Storm he goes. Notes though that Halls is clear. And much of that Astra util is going to lock Sen out of the site. Second has a dimensional drift. Remember, this is Sen with a half buy or no buy in the previous round. Have invested in this one. Already, they're on the back foot.
And there are a few Mibr players 1 kill away from having an ultimate in this post plan as well.
Another for Aspas. Zelsis just is treated out into the open apparently. Has to step over this Taeho util and will survive it. Second behind enemy lines.
And it's just time to save. They have no choice but to do so with the economy in such a dire position. And that is an error that will frustrate Kaplan out of the timeout. He's squeezing the cube real tight, the stress cube, because Zels is just playing over on the site against the null command where he has all of his util. You just can't be doing that.
And maybe that's just something they overlooked. Oh, Cortesia, they overlooked this as well. Narrate does have the line. It will be brought down. For Mibr, it's easy come, easy go for these guns. Happy to wrest some more of them out of Sen's hands.
It's far more important to take them out of Sen's hands, excuse me. Mibr's economy is good enough to just keep buying up over and over.
Yeah, I mean, why bother clearing that util, Aspas? It is completely pointless.
Aspas just chilling as always. No reaction to anything. He's just a chill guy.
Here we have the 1 round lead now for Mibr. One of the first times this whole series have managed to get ahead. Still, Senna working with weaponry.
That haunt over the top is nice. Spots out 2. Zekken wants to get right back onto this orb. Far away from the dimensional drift. Maybe a dream that he can get it in the rest of this game, but wants to try and succeed with that.
He doesn't fancy hanging around at all. Some of the spam was already coming through that box, so he opts for the discreet route. And here's a lockdown. Once again, outside of the timing of John. He won't be able to clear this with ease. They actually just have to give up the side entirely.
Yeah, they're forced out. Look at the rotate right now. All of Sentinels.
They've sold it. They could sell ice to an Inuit.
Mibr have gotten away with it. They're delayed by this wall, though.
It's 7 seconds. That's not a small amount of time.
Sen, they are here. They're going to try to flood back in. John's utility is cycled. He has the missiles to try and stop this plant. Do they hit the gas? Do they accelerate right now?
This is by no means guaranteed here for Mibr. It's about to get dicey. Cortesia inside the smoke flash. Oh, was clone the whole time. Here comes the Taeho util over in the Hall's direction. A recon to light the site, but nobody from Sen has actually committed quite yet. They've got to go for it soon, though. Tucked in the corner is Cortesia. Aspas with his crossfire. Here they come. John QT not able to check to the Hall's direction. Banger to make it a 1-for-1. He gets in there. Shenom strikes with the op. And it's up to the operator player. Shenom can be in this post-par position. Then it's all on Zekken to save the day. Gravwell comes out. Shenom to get the team to 12. Oh, this Astra util can't be denied. Mibr, 1 step from finally getting a map win in this best of 5.
Hard as hell to get value out of the lockdown against Sentinels with the Taeho, but they get the most. All 5 players rotating to try and flood back into A when the supposed hit would be coming in. They bought what Mibr were selling. The Brazilians get the free side. Cortez, he's out of his seat. And it's the rookie Shenom who is stepping up under the pressure right now.
Mibr are looking like something else. Senna least able to buy some rifles, but most out of that half armor.
You are divided.
And here is a cosmic divide off MIBR. It's going to get them into B. Celsius might be critical here.
He doesn't get caught by the 0 point, so they must know to check this.
The seconds tick away as Celsius knows this has to be his moment. There goes the spike, it's loose. Some of that util not coming out. Oh, the Steel Garden as well. Still going to be caught out by Noswa. Hunter's Fury finds its mark, but the spike is deep in enemy territory.
Yeah, that arc rose from Celsius, fully blinding up Artson on the swing.
MIBR end up just rushing hard into this site that is typically canvassed with Vice util. No way to shut it down either. Now it is a full rescue mission for the spike.
And you slowly have Second on the flank. That trip not active.
There's so much stall util in this Sentinel comp. And now, there goes Noswa! Zekin will end the round here and keep it close. Now overtime is well and truly on the table.
Look at the status of the ultimates for Sen. They're going to want to play for the orbs in this next round. I think MIBR really overlooked that position. The 0 point didn't clear it. They didn't have enough players scaling out of that nebula with Artzine. Things got very disconnected for them. And now the pressure is on as
this main fight.
One away from the dimensional drift. John is one away from Armageddon. They're going to play to that as a win con. MIBR, are they ready for that though? They want to fight it. Oh my god, Ospas just passed the salvos.
He knows how doggedly Sen might have looked to fight for the orb. So he disrespects and gets ahead of that TO util. It's not enough to shake him.
Now he did have to use his dash to get there, but well worth it to have this full control of A main. Cortesia sidesteps the Prowler that was sent out from Narrate.
I think Connector is one of the most important parts of the map here, as well as that art hold.
Sen are trying to use a lot of this information gathering util from their initiators just to try and stabilize at this moment, because there's been that heavy MIBR pressure towards A main. Oh, this timing.
Ships in the night. Second, is he on this line adequately? He can't get away. A mortal blow already struck to Sen, who are digging their claws in. John here trying to keep it locked down, but Narrate is caught. Artizing strides out onto the site. Brimming with braggadocio.
Still for John, if he can get one here, he could get the Armageddon active to drag Sen into overtime. He has to find a kill.
Bought a little bit of time, John has, and now the Cosmic Divide comes down. This surely furrows the brow of MIBR. They're down to two. Noswa and Shenom. Banks has found Aspas out of God knows where. And now they need to challenge this wall into what looks like a crossfire. Everything hangs on this moment here for Sen if they want to stay in this map. Noswa unsure where to set himself up. That wall's about to come down, but the nebula will obscure his vision.
And they have to deal with Shadow Stars still late right now trying to defuse. Recon for Noswa too.
It's got to be tough. They still haven't really got a touch in there, Shenham. Okay, the Astra's down. The Stars now no longer an issue. Noswa has to step up and do it himself. Celsius halves it. And the rest. John keeps it busy. John shuts him down. And you better believe there's an overkill on the dockets.
Recovering that from a severe man disadvantage are Sentinels. Heartbreaking for MIBR. Restored back into that half. They had got 9 rounds to Sen's 1. 2 chances to close it out and keep the series going, but their hopes may just be dashed.
The plot thickens. That is a wild round. So much tension playing around that Cosmic Divide. Shannon maybe just stepping too far.
MIBR really getting punished there for trying to go for the aggressive play, pushing through that Cosmic Divide.
Now this is good watching.
All right, MIBR, they're starting on defense, and definitely take note of Aspas here. Glass Cannon operator pushed up towards B. And in the meantime, the other MIBR players, 2 of them getting space in A. They've got main control.
Sentinel's playing for a push-up here. Zekin's going to follow the drone in. Clears the alarm bot.
We saw this same play in regular time.
Jump peek there, trying to tease Cortesia out into the sunlight.
The difficulty for Sentinels now is re-clearing A main. When they went for this play in regular time, it was Shenham who was able to get a couple kills there, and now he has a teammate. Artzine is ready to play off of him.
Fade util may help Sen open this up. But you're right, it's pretty scary. Shannon has been spectacular.
He's breaking all of this util so they don't suspect Artzine, playing with the pop flash ready.
He's not shown himself at all. C's even committed. Okay, Artzine.
They are certain.
They don't know he's going to be there. They're not ready for it, surely! 1 for 1, Narrate walks away, barely. And on the side, Nosma now is going to get some attention. He's forced back, special delivery, stops short. Zekken was really hoping that the clone would have drawn Nosma out, but he's too canny for that. Gate crash used, he gets across now, Nosma. The net's starting to close, he's down to 2, but Shenom still in A main. Eventually gets the better of the low health Narrate. 2 versus 4, long odds for Sen City. Nosma with a shock around the corner. Nova Pulse, Zelsus has to try and keep him alive. At least a part here, and Nosma falls.
Okay, he's getting ahead of himself. He could have been a bit more patient. Maybe that's the opening Sen need.
There it is. Eventually, Mibr go in for the kill shot.
It really comes down to that presence in A main. Artzine just tanking 17 different utility pieces coming his way, but it's Jenim just breaking all of them so he can stay tucked in that position. I mean, it's surprising they didn't get both kills, honestly. The shots went a little bit amiss, but still, this moment was pivotal for Mibr. And Nas were reading that teleport from Zekken as not being a fake gate crash, but actually holding the angle, getting that kill while on low HP. So little micro moments that were of the just utmost importance for Mibr.
So Sentinel's timeout here. Let's go for a wellness check on Coach Kaplan.
And a wellness check on the Q-Bird.
Yeah, and that too.
The stress, you can feel it. The tension is high for both of these teams.
Shannon has been a big problem in A main. Sentinels get a 2v2 set up, and honestly, I thought Artzine was going to unravel them. It seemed clear that they didn't know he was hiding behind the box with a pop flash ready. They actually get past that particular hurdle and end up making it close. Zekken takes a lot of space getting through our interconnector.
Listen, Mibr, they have to be feeling good that they started off with a win on defense. This has been a game all about attacking halves. They're now going to the side where they won initially 9 rounds when Sen only had 1 until they dragged it back at the very end to get to OT.
Yeah, take pause off the back of this. Just a gear issue being ironed out. Cut the air with a knife here. Some of those Mibr round wins really sucking the air out of the room as they've clambered back into this game. And you got to wonder what the call is now with Sentinels on this defense side. Something that just hasn't worked out in this map at all really has been the Zekken holding a passive angle on the B side of the map with Operator. So I don't expect to see him go glass cannon here at all. Just an in-ear issue here for young Zekken.
Just getting his gears situated, but man, the pressure on this Mibr team now to continue this series. Osboss is no stranger to playing lengthy best of 5s. If you think back to his days on Loud.
Leviathan had them last year domestically too. When G2 Lev went the distance for his last year in a playoff game. Yeah, he's been there. This time though, he got to handpick the players in the game with him.
Yeah, Mibr, they have just decided to give him the keys to the castle, put together his own roster. Artzine retained from last season. His best little buddy Nosbar that he didn't get to play with in 2024, and then a couple upcoming stars from challengers in Brazil, and they've made it all the way here to the lower final.
Something about Nosbar as a caller is that in his time in that role, he's so calm and collected. You hear furious comms with him on that roster in the past, and so low energy, so crucial, intense moments like this. I wonder if that's having an impact now with Artzine at the helm of the calling.
It might be they're intending on getting this early space on B, where Zekken has been a presence on the majority of the rounds. That drone is going to clear out any of the close angles, and let's see, wow, great connection, 0 point on to Zelsus. That's going to reveal the Razor Vine, so they are able to break one of those for free. That's fantastic.
Zelsus is trying though to flip the script here and play in that anti-flash corner.
He's in the jaw spot position. He's in the jaw spot.
I mean, Mibr happy with that trade and to allow these smokes now to elapse. the Vice util is gone. It's just an Arc Rose watching connect it.
In the meantime, John did send out that stealth drone and cleared out a lot of art. Look at how passive this is from Sen. Look at the shear. It's all the way in sewer. I mean, they have given up a lot of the map here. When this hit comes in, do Zelsis and Zekin opt to fight? Here come the players from Link from MIBR as well. Recon in.
All right, that fragment clearly not bothering Zelsis. That's one. Getting amongst the smokes here. Goes a little bit low, Shorty out, and Nos was able to dig him from that position. Aspas onto the site now. Looking dangerous. It's only Zekin that's over by Halls, and he finds his one. And it means everything. Shit, I'm not really sure where to shoot right now. Bang's able to get involved, and it's just down to the young gun. 23 and 13. He's been fire.
10 seconds left.
He's got the spike too. But this is a tall order. Bang and Zekin are circling. The taste of blood in the water, and no time left to get the plant. That'll be the round. Sentinels even it up.
Time just too low. Tenon was hoping he could bait out some swings and just win this game by virtue of killing both players in that situation. He's up to 24 kills right now on the map. A crucial reason why MIBR have been able to turn this around on their attacks. What is that? Just one tap through? That is so obscene.
Poor close one though. Big timeout called before that round for Sentinels. The order clearly to play passive and really not get picked off early. And they were fortunate. They had all that Vice util cleared so early and still were able to hold it down.
Again, MIBR, they're leaning into this operator from Aspas in OT on defense. This time no positioned in art. This is different from the looks they've had before. And then you've got Cortesia at the box ready to swing off of him if some pressure comes into that area of the map from Sen. And it looks like it just might.
Yeah, they really are looking to step up and apply a chokehold to the map. Okay, play off the drone, ignored. Aspasto can't quite find the shot. The idea was there, but there's no backup for Cortesia.
At least gets that trade. That was crucial from Aspas.
Patejo util tries to lock him in, but he again walks over it. So Zekin for Cortesia traded.
And in the meantime, Shenham, he's towards A main again. He is feeling the pressure from both sides.
What's this Link setup going to look like? Shenham might actually look to push this. Bang, head first! Into the breach he goes. Another 1-for-1, but Aspas saw John coming from A main. Operator ready to work. Tailwind to put him back in a safer spot towards dugout.
That's a great reposition from Aspas. He can wait for his teammates. Oh my god, shot so close to Zelsis.
Gives his spot away though. Sen know he's there, but it's a player advantage now for MIBR, and there's someone on the ramp.
He's flanking through Art. He's going to get triggered by the wall though when he goes through.
Bang, almost ready for it. Aspas making noise, and the Arc Rose will keep him honest there. Jump peeking. And there's Artisan, gotta win that one, and he does. It's up to Zelsis, and he's going hunting. He's gonna take this into his own hands. Aspas misses the shot. Steel gun, active. Shot, he goes to work. Shoots it down. You gotta get up early if you're gonna come with the king like that.
You can't be winning the OT rounds like this. You can't be going to another map. That's about the most reaction you're ever going to get out of the GOAT.
At least he got a smile.
The wry little smile after getting the 4-piece with the knife. These operator trades. Initially that one. They got it for Cortesia. That's a headshot at that. Look at Zelsis. That's V1 Zelsis. Yes. That's the old Zelsis.
He's talked about it. He said that
my God.
There was a time where he often allowed those negative feelings to spill forth, and he just hated feeling that way. And over time, that side of him became tempered. But in moments like that,
oh my God!
Once again, the anger drawn out. Happens to the best. See it happen to a bunch of pro players, but he's the one that normally keeps this team level on an even keel. He has to collect himself, and quick.
He was the addition to this team that turned them around last year. Not that the roster was bad, but it was like missing something in the recipe. And when he came in, that's when they became a world beater. That's when they won Kickoff last year out of their great offseason performances. And then win Masters Madrid. Take Sentinels back to the top where we were used to seeing them for the first couple years of Valorant. We'll see if he can rally back. He has been the star of this series for Sen. The unlikely hero when you look at the firepower they have on the roster. He's at the top of the board again right now for them.
But is this too much to carry? How much longer can Zelsis be relied on? I mean, not only be the emotional leader, but the the fragger in game.
I was expecting this to be the battle of Zekin and Ospas, these two duelists that have had to step up and be absolute lights-out stars for their teams to get into this lower bracket final, but it is Zelsis who has picked up the mantle of the top fragger for this Sen team.
Kaplan saw his emotional leader lose his cool there, so I'm sure a couple of choice words shared in that timeout. MIBR still on map point. Finger by finger, Sen's grip on this game has been loosened.
He gets the spot onto Ospas, just jump peeking there. That would have been dangerous in regular time when MIBR were running the op on attack, but in OT, they don't want to take that risk. 5 rifles for them.
Sheer wall does get tripped. Some A-main presence here, but no real commitment just yet. Zekin is waiting though, he hears this. The Sears comes in, Zekin takes his powder flash and backs out. Stops the plant at least. Flash out of the smoke, here comes Zekin!
Zekin mengamuk, saudara-saudara.
Aspas and those are the last 2 to work with, but the spike is virtually in the next postcode. Somehow Sen have put themselves in a position again to reset this overtime. Nozzle though has a word. Zelsis maybe overcooks just a little.
Yeah, that was a good re-swing from Noz, where they have 30 seconds to play with, but the repositioning from Zekin should seal this round up for Sen. Keep OT going. These crossfires are great.
And obviously no reason to save. You may as well go for it. There's the clone. Aspas knows better. Salvo splits Aspas, and Nozwa up. A chance for them, though, to reconvene here. 13 seconds. Cloudburst. Spike recovered. Aspas spammed down through with it. Zekin for 4. Nozwa on his own, and the race will close the book on it. Again, we're running it back for a 29th round here on Pearl.
Noz were just not expecting that silent rotate from their 8 into default to close the round out, but it's all Zekin. Come on. Just running around the site on the Yoru, was playing in the smoke close up to deny the plant. This common spot that MIBR have really been going for on these A-side hits.
And where Zelsis faltered, it's Zekin who steps up.
Oh, him slipping away and then the confidence to just re-flash right back in as his teammates are spilling into back site to assist. Beautiful.
It's giving flow state, Wyatt.
He is activating Ospas again. Glass cannon operator in OT, 3 rounds in a row.
Yep. This spot didn't work out for Zekin on the other side. Aspas has a way about him.
Sen there taking all of this space while the Nebula is up. Get close, get ready to explode onto the site with all of your utility.
They forced him out and he still takes the shot. Zekin is down. Aspas very low, so he's going to be here to support him. 1 by 1, Sen step up. 1 by 1, they're knocked down. It's on Zelsis again in a 1 versus 3. Aspas low enough to be spammed down here. The Arc Rose connects. And once again, advantage MIBR.
The game is just going long enough for Ospas to get another casual 30 bomb. 30 for 15. You gotta think about this guy is just being the GOAT. He is unreal. The pressure he's feeling back hauls from all of this Tejo utility.
They line up for him though, don't they? Just before the Tejo util hits, he takes the shot that stops him in their tracks.
The way he maneuvered around all of that and then able to get the second onto the player default. Come on. MIBR have been really good on these defensive rounds. It's completely flipped from regular time. Now they just can't win on attack. Opportunity to close it out again.
Another chance just to string 2 together. Second. That's uncharacteristic from him.
That's a great way to start. They have a main control as well. Do they want to just get into the site? Center trying to rotate quickly. You can see 3 of their players here. They're ready to anchor this.
Aspas quick about it. Some time board here though with that salvo.
Oh, that was dangerous for Bang. Ospas had the angle but whiffed the shot.
Yeah, but now I think he knows Aspas is up in that box, so won't chance it again, surely. Both players exchange shots, some warbang damage traded.
And I could definitely expect that MIBR that will want to slow this down, cut noise in the mid-round, try and get one of these Sen players at least to go back towards B. But Zelsis having the wall in link that trip is giving some great passive info to the rest of the team.
John Salvo's back in about 10 seconds here.
Even at that, look at John. He has to pick up the sewer angle because someone from MIBR could be flanking there, but they are all ready to get into the site together.
John can still stop this with his Tejo util. The 0 point didn't connect on him, and frankly, MIBR are taking a sweet time. There it is. MIBR know it's coming, and now they're going to be ready to go for what has to be a real plant. They've got to go for it. Sees catches no one. Nosma steps up, gives it a tap, and Bang trying to stay safe while getting some spray here. More Astra util. Noswood though is able to... No, he doesn't stick it. Okay, there still needs to be a plant here at some point. Zelsis now activates, spraying it down. Where's the plant coming from? It's Artazine. Taps it again. But it's Cortesia falling. How have they done it again?
It was all looking so good for MIBR. They slowed the game down. They drew out all of the utility from Sen. And out of nowhere, it's Bang just getting back into dugout. The spam line denies the plant when it needed to go down. And you could see the second the spike was dropped back on the ground here, Nas were going down, the chaos set in. The team was scrambled. And Sen ensnared them from all sides.
And you've got to feel like they played in the Sentinels' hands and composition with how they've gone about that round. All this stall, util to stop a plant. Okay, round 31 it is, folks.
And again, MIBR back to the well. They've got the AWP in the hands of Aspas. Every OT round pressed up towards B.
I mean, Zelsa should be intimately familiar with what to expect on this part of the map right now. And he gives him nothing.
Off that recon, Aspas wanted to get on the deeper line, but he's still going to play it a bit more safe towards Pillar, where that dash can get him to sight if necessary, but looks like he just wants to fall off entirely. And in the meantime, opposite side of the map, Artzin controlling A, an area of the map where defensively MIBR has really excelled.
50 seconds. Sen here now starting to tentatively work their way towards Art. And they've just seen the alarm bot. Yeah, be killed off as Cortesia gets away from the action, but he does so in order to find the kill. Aspas, he's always good for one.
It's insane that he even gets one there.
Sen have struggled so much to get themselves to advantage point.
Artzin is still retaining this A main control. The retake is going to come in from so many different angles.
Oh, with John going down there, this is dangerous. 3 different angles a retake could emerge from. Sen have to have eyes in the back of their head. 8 arms. And a 6 sets for the game. It's just too much to ask from Bang. He's surrounded. Perfect collapse. And Zekin has to do it all now. Shenum replaces the star. That's a shot on the diffuser. Shenum low. Zekin so close. Tries to ride the lightning.
Oh my god.
But Cortesia will walk away unscathed. And once again, MIBR threatened to end the map.
The control of the map in that round was fantastic. Suddenly the defensive side has just been perfect after being slaughtered in regular time. I still don't know how Aspas is just allowed to get a kill. He faced into 3 players and he has
a couple times.
He 1v3 has faster reactions than all of them.
It's safe to say at this point, folks, we have departed from reality.
If this series keeps going, I'm gonna need a lot of tea and honey. This is gonna blow my voice out, man. This is getting pretty crazy on map 3. Sen looked like they were in complete control of the series, and look, realistically, they still are having 1-2 maps, but MIBR, they're on the cusp of coming back. They have another shot at winning this out. They just haven't been able to close it out in OT yet. They keep winning these defensive rounds. They just need one on attack.
Celsius gets a bit of information here about this mid-door setup, and there's the wall. This will be traversed slowly at that, buying enough time for the drift over of Zekin.
Cortesia places the alarm bot, but it looks like
they're going to go ahead of it.
They want to push through anyhow.
Zekin might be tipped off to this a little bit.
He is watching the sewer angle pretty passively.
A lot of this util though on this site ready. I really think the 0 point from Artazine has to hit onto Zelsis if they're going that way.
One suppressed. Well, they spot out the KJ. That's not the greatest info imaginable, as Artzin is throwing the 0 point towards A, which is showing, you know, some more significant presence to Sentinels as to where they want to rotate.
Oh, the Vice Util has moved though. The shock dart doesn't pick it up, and that can now be deployed. Yes, this buys a bunch of time for Sentinels. Zelsis looking healthy enough now, and there's John comes in after the clone. MIBR down to 3. John found 3 in the round, and he's not done yet. Hunter Noswa and Shenom once more.
He's gotten the Armageddon from all these kills.
There's just no time left, and this surely has to seal it with Noswa falling. Shenom has to pull up the one rabbit from the hat. And how about some more Valorant, folks? You okay with that?
The anchoring from John is just too strong there. He's going to give those Moments of individual brilliance when required.
Playing off the clone as well. And crucially, there's a 0 point that goes over to A. So Celsius doesn't get shut down. That util can still be used, and he moves it. There's a shock dart from Noswell that goes to where the Razorvine was. He doesn't hit any of it. So he gets to slow things down.
And at what point for MIBR does the frustration set in that you've had all of these opportunities to close the game out, but you just can't cross the finish line against this Sentinels team that are finding moments of individual brilliance in OT? John, Zekin, stepping up when required.
At what point does the frustration force you into a mistake? Okay, there goes the clone. This is chaos here. Artazine, which just hanging out in the open. Oh shit, it's an easy pickup for Narrate as well. And Cortesia now is going to feel the pressure. Forced back by the Prowler. A side of the map, completely covered by Sen.
And that might just be the moment you're describing, Artazine, just trying to do too much, wanting to fight too aggressively, and it's put his team at a 3-5 disadvantage. Sen should be able to trade this out and win. One more kill for John. Armageddon again, by the way, in an OT round.
Aspas has stepped up here. Gonna swing for the fences. Second plucked out of the mix. Still 4 for Sen to work with, and John is very quickly getting back into this game. My goodness, he's been instrumental. Armageddon, anybody? Nos was able to dodge around it though. Sen need to cool it off. Still a player advantage. Aspas having a retake with an op at low health, and now Noswa will be interrupted. Here's when that post-fight util becomes too oppressive to play into. Time is short. Aspas waiting, such patience in a moment like this. He's got to go for the defuse right about now. Tailwind gets a third. On for 4, but Celsius won't allow it.
It just doesn't matter, the clock is too low. That is just where the Sen excels. And as you're describing it, it's MIBR trying to really force a play into Art where they heard the noise, pop flash in, but they were thrown into disarray from the utility that was coming in from Sen. I believe it was the clone running forward from Zekin. Him and Narrate able to play together to clean up both kills. Finally, an attack round.
Let's go, MIBR.
This has been a nightmare for MIBR to try and win one of those. And they need to stay in the game, or as Sentinels going to Masters and MIBR going home. A team that's really defied the odds. An organization that hasn't found success yet in the VCT. Now for the first time with the star of Brazil, Aspas, they are on the cusp of staying in this series.
Let's go,
they need to step up now.
For the first time this overtime, they're on the back foot. Nothing free this round for Shenham.
MIBR.
It's a way to safety.
Kita pakai teori mendukung tim yang lagi tertinggal. Let's go MIBR. Ini kita sampai jam 10 setelah ini guys ya.
And now MIBR have a chance to start to close the net and take us to a 35th round of Pearl. So this is a little fortunate there. Wind blows in the right direction.
Oh, wow, that's so intelligent from Bang with the smoke so he can path for the rotate. But Shenham has gotten all of this space. It's called a rotate. All of MIBR on the way.
Cortesia is in a position to hit all of this and pitter-patter little feet.
Oh, does he go for this? This timing window is insane.
Unreal, he's going to get one at least. Surely! Fake smiles on Sentinels, but Shenham's able to find Celsius as he attempts to get to the B site.
Turns off that utility that was in the site as well. 4 versus 3. Can this be their first attack round? They still need to get into the site. Narrate gets one. The time is so low.
No plant yet. Running out of time at MIBR, but they do get the stick. It's now or never. Sentinels trying to book their ticket to Masters Bangkok. And MIBR digging their heels in with their last ditch to take us to more overtime. Aspas will wait. Here's Artazine holding his ground, and they've done it! We've got more Valorant left in this yet. Bring on the 35th.
Absolutely mental. Both teams decide why not win an attack round this time. Sen with their first opportunity to close in OT. They can't get the job done. And if there's one thing you can certainly say about Artazine, he's playing with confidence, even with the importance of this game weighing on him. As an entry player, as an IGL for this squad, he wins the duel against Zekin, one of the best aimers in the world, to open that round up.
Time to jump. Then Shenham gets into B, calls that big rotate.
0 point gets a ton of information for MIBR. It's certainly going to slow Sen down at least a bit. They get the orb onto Zekin, trying to play into the dimensional drift. where they found so much success across all of Kickoff, having really leaned into Yoru. This is such a clash of meta decisions, these two teams, MIBR, who are really playing the classic agents on these maps, versus Sen that heavily leaned into Tejo as soon as we began Kickoff, have leaned fully into Vice, Yoru.
We're getting close to the back cover of the playbook for both teams here, surely. Early exploration from MIBR to double door and towards Art. Yields nothing because Sen are playing a slow default.
The stealth drone is going to push Aspas back. Again, here is that play we've seen multiple times. Double initiator drone, either side of mid, push Zekin into the link. He's got a gate crash out to get back towards A main as well.
They know they're not going to get wrapped on here in Art. They can go for this push now. So Aspas, yeah, got marked there for a moment. Genom sees the clone go past and we're calling it audible to head over towards B. Zelsis will be the first there, but there's still all this KJ util. It has to be cleared.
Cortezia is going to have to at least get one in this situation.
Young Carlton Banks has to be the one to stand up under scrutiny here. Here's second pass, it's Aspas though that opens up the account. And Cortesia's got no reason to pick! What? Zekin's not ready, he swings on him. John has to go big. But Bang in dismay sees the house of cards come crumbling down. And once again, Sen have to defend their rights to advance out of this map.
That is pace. Ruthless aggression from MIBR getting back into the B site. They stacked over A. Sen hit them with a great rotate. It's Cortesia's delay and Halls as well, finding his. And you can always rely on Aspas to get at least one kill with the AWP. Picks off Zelsis, who was trying to get a kill via the one-way. But that one-way works just as well for the AWPer. MIBR, another opportunity to close this game out. What is this, 5 if I'm not mistaken, 6? I'm losing count, man, but they've had a hell of a lot of tries.
At this point in the map, there's nothing left but that pure grit and determination. Will to win. Once again, MIBR, like you said, at advantage point here.
We've seen this from them before, that early drone to try and insert someone deep over towards the B site. It was Shannon before trying to find that lurk timing. Call to rotate late from his team to A to B. They've got a turret watching for that A main push-up. Cortezia is getting active on the lurk with that Nebula popped.
Much like Sen the last round, they're able to get a player down Art. That's going to be checked though. I think John re-clears that with a stealth drone, and there's also going to be a Prowler that threatens to confirm the position of Cortezia, but he's stuck here. He's going to go for water. Zelsis though is the one about to get busy. Razorvine disregarded. Enemies ignored. Smoke pushed into. And that's Sentinel that picks him up. Here's Cortezia now. He's a big problem. A thorn in the side.
Oh,
but no. Get him out of there!
Just barely half of his HP ripped away. Finally, the site anchors dealt with for MIBR. They've gotten the util out of Zelsis. They finally get the spike down.
MIBR are on the precipice here of staying alive in this series. Cortezia strikes back with a vengeance. Narrate somehow that second bullet through the masonry. Don't ask me how it hit. And Aspas is low. Sen have to get onto this side proper though.
Oh my god, Aspas is trying to rotate. God knows where right now.
Alone. Aspas, what are you doing? You're too late. It's all gone wrong for MIBR. And Sen again have even the game. We're going to round 37.
What a absolute disaster. Tragedy at the end. MIBR haven't gotten a better chance than that. They break the site open, they kill the anchors, trade out with man advantage. And then Narrate comes in, finds his two-piece. The spike is not planted for long. It's not even planted for long.
Oh, head in hands.
Oh my god.
Somebody, please think of Cuban, please.
That could mentally be the death blow for MIBR. They felt that that was their win. That was where they were going to close the map out and get us to Pearl. They can't be out of it due to that, though. They have to stay in the game. As exhausting as it's been, as frustrating as it's been, that they haven't been able to close out with so many opportunities.
MIBR and Sentinels are both left it all out there on Pearl.
I mean, this is one of the most mental Valorant games we have seen in some time. certainly in kickoff.
It's MIBR with the last vestiges of strength trying to stay alive and give themselves a chance of being the ones at Masters instead.
Sentinels have got him in control. MIBR, they want to re-clear this. Could be their undoing.
Back up for days, Wyatt! John QT, the shot goes wide! And Arzine is able to get there!
Shenum just needs to run, just get out. You've got the advantage. Play for the retake now, MIBR.
Second thought to check the smoke. Nobody was in there. Shenum was out of dodge entirely, and Narrate gets given a stay of execution.
He's gotta get that.
He comes back for a second bite of the apple. Contezia will punish him. 2 up for Sentinels, just 2. An ill-fated attack round now has to be carried by Zekin and Zelsis. And there it is, Zekin not able to get it.
And Zelsis is going to be swarmed. There's just no way to win that out. MIBR have done it. Arzine is coming up with the most impactful kills in this OT, despite being head in hands after losing that tragic last round. He took matters into his own hands.
What is it going to take for MIBR to win this map, Wyatt? How much more?
He's trying to trade, but the crosshair is immediately on him. That position red by the IGL of MIBR. They've got, what is this, their 40th chance to close the game out?
Round number 38.
Someone ask Sliggy. I can't keep count.
It's been a patchwork of rounds. Shenif struggled really, only one opportunity to close the map out for them. So far they've been trying to return serve in this overtime. Second with an ass-pass look here, could be overwhelmed.
First time, I believe that they've even played with this operator.
He's got to get out.
Second is going to be in trouble. Okay, just in time, gets away.
Spidey senses clearly tingling, and there's ass-pass down. Okay, Celsius in a ridiculous position. Arzine walks face first into it.
We're going all night. We're going till 2 a.m.
Don't have
on
any
this
plans
map.
this evening. Cancel the reservations. We're locked in.
Slowing down just a tad in the mid-round.
The round wins and losses will continue until morale improves.
Shenum, he's got the spike, crucially, over towards that B site.
Okay, a moment here for Shenum to consider the situation. He knows likely the side is still canvassed, of course, with that Vice util.
I mean, MIBR on the map right now looking like the mini-map in my ranked games, bro. They're everywhere. There's no one is playing together. And Nosbar's just trying to get into A.
I mean, but how much is your mental bandwidth
30 seconds
taxed?
left.
30 seconds.
The spike, by the way, is still in Wichita, Kansas. Okay, here it comes. Making its way cross-country. Haunt, though, does get a ping. Noswa delayed here from this plant.
The time is so low and you're trying to plant against this comp. Good luck.
There's got to be a gap, though, in this util at some point. Kotechi gets Narrate. There's no stop on the spike plant. MIBR have a real chance of this. In what was a 3v5, they're down to 2 now.
Cortesi is just so low on HP. It's going to be in the hands of Nos. We're playing from Art.
All right, shot missed there for Zelsis. He gets off the line. Noswa peers in.
That was a timing that he should have hit.
Cortesia. There's going to be a defuse at some point. And eventually, the numbers now start to drop away. 27 points of health and a dream for Cortesia.
A single bullet.
And they'll block the shots as long as they have to.
Sure, he's not going to get the job done in that distance.
A kill that means nothing now for Cortesia at the end of the round.
I mean, just stat padding only. Holy man. We just don't stop.
This is now a record for the most rounds played in a VCT Americas game, folks. The longest match, the longest map, rather, we have ever seen.
It took 38 rounds for Zekin to bust out the defensive glass cannon off an OT. He just realized it after 2 hours of game. Wait, what if I op a B long? I haven't bought that yet.
Stay with us as we descend into madness, folks, and into uncharted territory on Pearl. One thing's for sure, you're guaranteed a good time. Can Sen get to advantage here?
At this point, just take it to Drift and end this with a TDM game.
Some real Drift fans in the room, I appreciate it. So last time, well, the last longest game was another ass-pass one. Okay, a moment here to breathe. I appreciate it myself.
Portal closed.
Very slow default here for Sen, giving up much of the map, hoping for a walkout from MIBR that frankly is not going to come.
It is patient from Sentinels at the moment. And typically, they've been putting a lot of emphasis on heavy pressure, Art, and Link at the same time.
with the double drones from their initiators. This is the smallest of angles from Cortezia.
It is a pinhole.
I mean, rare as well that MIBR are playing rather safe here. They put so much emphasis on a main control. This round is passive from both sides.
Oh, he gives himself away. Zekin was pushed back by the alarm bot, so he's going to get through now. Aspas, surely ready for this. Okay. Prowler just took a giant bite out of crime, but Shenom's got the dirtiest of angles. Sees Zekin coming. MIBR with the player advantage, but we're in a post-plant world now. Aspas low to the Razorvine, down to 50. Zelsa setting up more of this architecture now. How do MIBR get through all this util? First Razorvine.
The Razorvine is so good for delay. John still has that concuss, and crucially, he has the guided salvos for more delay. And Bang is alive. There's stars on the spike. Guys, we gotta move. We gotta tap it. We have to get this util out.
And they can't lose anyone to these salvos. MIBR get off of it. Noswa's down though. Aspas, Shorty in the smoke. Got a mustard in the kitchen with a candlestick. It's John who finds Aspas. 2 left for Sentinels, and they're gonna push through. It's all on John. He gives up the ghost.
The tiniest of timing windows. 3 seconds remaining. MIBR, they are able to rush that crossfire setup to A main. Aspas, he served as the distraction with the updraft spin so they could get into main. Cortezia finding the timing off the reload to win that last fight. This was such a sick angle from Shannon, by the way, just to get that first kill. Oh my god, man.
VCT America's Hotel California, folks. You can check out whenever you like, but you ain't leaving.
And surely MIBR finally close out now after being at the advantage. Oh my god. I mean, Kaplan is being tortured by this game.
On the upside, we've discovered the cure for hypotension, Wyatt. For Kaplan.
Similar opening that we've seen from MIBR, which feels
semua sampai round berapa,
dumb as hell to say at this point. We've seen
mau
everything
dapetin
they've got. The strap
satu angka aja, satu angka mau dapetin satu map aja sampai segininya loh. Astaga.
Okay, that util doesn't really shake Zekin at all. Zelsa's tucked as per usual. This has got to be a spot you check. Aspas gets across the side and John just gets ripped a new one.
He's determined to win.
And they're so close. Wyatt, they're so close. Narrator with something to say. Zekin's found one and we're down to a 3-piece each. But there's Artazine. Crucially, Zekin gets another. Spike. No plan of that yet. And Shenom, he is on in. It's on.
It's finally done. MIBR. The longest game in America's history. They've taken it down. 2-0 maps in the series. We're not done yet. What a mental blow to Sentinel, who could have booked their ticket to Masters off a win there in OT. Exhausting affair for them, and now they have to rally back. And after a game like that, my god, MIBR have to be feeling good heading into Split, where their double duelist has been elite.
For Sentinels, it's tough. It's tough to come so close and be denied. However, they know just how much MIBR would have to do to get out of this series alive. They've already got themselves 2 map wins. They're going over to Split, which they had a pretty solid win against Loud. It's a good map for this team as well.
Ini jam 8, aku mau makan dulu. Udah lapar. Nanti habis itu kita lanjut live stream lagi. Kalau matchnya belum selesai, oke?